Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome to the XOX Esports Challenge. Round 4 takes us to an absolutely unique racetrack, the Oulton Park Fosters Circuit. This is going to be an absolutely amazing race, very tight and very tough racing up ahead. The AM race will come first, with the pro race coming later on, and do stay tuned for your chance to win. I'm your host for this evening, Matthew Palmer. With me in the studio is Encik Bob. Encik Bob, apa khabar, Encik Bob?
Hai Matthew, apa khabar?
Baik. So mesti seronok, ada perasaan seronok sikit lah nak pergi kat track ni sebab
Diam
memang
tak diam dah. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan. Dikabarkan ini antara track yang ditunggu-tunggu ramai dan merupakan antara track legend di dalam dunia. Betul ke?
Ya, betul. So Oulton Park ni antara track yang paling tua di UK di dalam tahun 1950-an. 1953. So the track was started in 1953. Very unique in that it is not based on an airfield like Silverstone or Thruxton or all of the other high-speed racetracks in the UK. This racetrack is actually based around a stately manor home. So a very, very big country house with a very big backyard, big enough to host the Oulton Park Gold Cup, one of the original set of Formula One races, and also a very popular touring car venue. So Oulton Park Fosters, it's the BTCC layout. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan, anda sekarang sedang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge 2020 yang mana ini merupakan antara round yang 4 akan dibawakan khas untuk anda.
Yeah, itu dia. So our media partners for this series, we're glad to have Galeri Kereta on board with us to check their website out, their Facebook and their YouTube channels. They've got some of the best content in the local Malaysian automotive lifestyle scene. Very, very nice cars on display here. We have a couple of MX-5s that they shot pre-MTO. Very nice looking cars indeed. And hopefully they'll be able to bring you more content. But for now, Galeri Kereta is very kindly allowed us to host the racing on their site as well as ours. So do go out and support those guys out there. They have a fantastic line of merchandising as well. I've already got my orders in. I know Bob has as well. So do check out Galeri Kereta. And also, don't forget to check out the Shopee page for all of the merchandise as well. You can get the best prices on there. So very, very nice stuff indeed. Checking out that fantastic Galeri Kereta cap. Who knows, you might actually see me wear one of those one day. Not gonna say, very tempted. Memang cantik jugalah dia punya baju semua kan.
Cantik bahai, menarik. Dah ada Shopee. Dulu aku follow dia punya Facebook, aku follow dia punya YouTube, itu antara produk dia. Dan yang terbaru sekarang ni, kalau korang nakkan merchandise apa yang ada dekat Galeri Kereta, selain daripada berhubung direct dengan oleh anda, boleh terus ke Shopee link yang kita paparkan dekat sini. Media partner kita, Galeri Kereta.
Yeah, itu dia. So thanks a lot to Galeri Kereta for helping out. And for our other sponsors, XOX is giving out some more fantastic giveaway prizes. An Oppo A9 III Plus is available for the winners, and that plus means it's also going to get that black B59 SIM card pack free for 6 months, a phone with bills all paid as well. The Steel Series gaming headset is also out there for one lucky winner, as well as 3 Black 59 packages from one XOX, as well as 5 more SIM cards with 10 gigs of very high-speed data. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic stuff. Do stay tuned to the halftime show that we're going to have just after the AM race and just before the pro race, the gap that we normally have in the middle. Do stay tuned for that, because there's some fantastic stuff going on right there. But for now, in order to enter the giveaway, the first 2 things you need to do is to like the Facebook pages. You gotta like Galeri Kereta, Adrenaline Impact, XOX Mobile, 1XOX, and the TKKR Racing Team as well. Try and like as many of those pages as you can. If you can like all of those pages, gives you a much better chance of winning the prize. Also, the second step for now is to share this stream and spread it with the spread that sim racing love around. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic if you guys could pull that off, and you will be in with a chance of winning one of those SteelSeries gaming headsets and one of those Oppo A9 IIIs. Fantastic phones and fantastic headsets up for grabs. And of course, that's the first two steps. The third step will come during the halftime show, when we will have ZR talk you through the rest of the ways to try and get the giveaway prizes. So a few questions that you'll need to answer halfway through the stream, so do stay tuned for that.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kami bawakan yang terpantas, yang terhebat, yang terlaju khas untuk anda, dan juga hadiah-hadiah yang menarik setiap minggu hanya di XOX Esports Challenge 2020. Sama macam round 1, round 2, round 3. Hari ni, malam ni pun kita ada sediakan telefon yang menarik, headset dan juga SIM card khas untuk pemenang yang bertuah.
Ya, itu dia. Boleh tahan jugalah yang SteelSeries gaming headset tu kan.
Baik, aku tak terlibat sangat dengan race yang besar-besar tu tau. Tapi aku tengok dekat sini XOX Esports Challenge 2020 setiap minggu menawarkan hadiah yang sangat menarik. Baik, telefon mahal, baik.
Ya, itu dia, telefon mahal, SteelSeries gaming headset, tapi dia punya plan juga agak menarik.
Ya.
Sejam kita tengok, kita ada beberapa comments. Thank you to Calvin Ha, thank you to Nordin Shami Azri and Faiz Muhammad for those likes, shares and all that support as well. Takashi Fujiwara, macam mana nak dapat hadiah ni? Terlepas dengar tadi.
Ulang balik.
Okay, kita ulang balik lagi sekali. So, tolong like page XOX Mobile, 1XOX, Adrenaline Impact dan Galeri Kereta, dan kalau boleh TKKR sekali lagi banyak page yang kamu like tu, lagi the better your chances lah kira. So lepas tu share the stream. So itu dah stage 1 dengan stage 2. Stage 3 akan jadi bila kita ada halftime show kita dengan ZR yang berada menunggu di studio untuk bagi soalan sekejap lagi ni. So kalau nak bagi jawapan kepada soalan tu, please leave the answers to the questions in the Adrenaline Impact chat box in FB, and we will be able to send that off to the guys for the lucky draw.
Ya. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, jangan lepaskan peluang. Okey, Matt, ini dia Amateur Class top 10 drivers kita.
Dan kita boleh tengok ada nama satu lah yang berada di hadapan. Tetapi masih ada peluang untuk Zikri masuki tempat yang pertama, tapi semakin lama semakin susah lah. So Fizzle Jai is in first place with 68 points, definitely stretching out his lead over Muhammad Zikri in second place, with Muhammad Ali in third place with 34 points. All three of those drivers still have a technical chance at winning the race. It's getting harder for Kamal Ali, but it's still possible for Zikri. But they're really going to have to pull out all the stops in this race in order to try and catch that man, Fizzle Jai. 3 races on the trot. He has the hat trick in the series, so he's really going to be the driver to beat. So now we Now we move over to the team standings. Android King Hyperbulls is beginning to pull away at the front of the field there. 71 points plays Just Keep Racing's 62. They're still in with a chance, however. One bad mistake from either side could decide the championship. It's starting to get a little bit heated right now. We're halfway through the race, halfway through the season, sorry. So it's really going to bring things up there. Streamtop9 is in third place, whereas 1XOX TKKR Racing Team AM is in fourth place with 34 points. But of course, Bobby Farid will be competing in the whole season as a wildcard entrant. And what's interesting there is that if we add Bobby's points total to Kamal Ali is the only points scoring driver in the TKKR e-racing team AM. But if we add both drivers there, they get 41 points, which would have put them up into third place. So a valiant effort from those guys as well. And of course, shout outs go out to the Toda Asia guys, the Hyperbulls, Bushwhacker, the veteran MSR team, HM SRT, Dante's Toda HM team, Android King Toda, Hyperbulls Bruiser, URT Green, and Team Kuraz Motorsports. All definitely pushing hard out there, trying to get their team up to the front. So in any case, we're going to have a quick look down there. Not too sure what happened on Bob's side. There's a huge amount of load on the internet connections right now, so we do apologize. Perhaps serves us right for not using XOX Mobile. Perhaps a better line. You never know. Hey, I try, guys. Sharon Norafudin is the man.
Dah. Okey, tuan-tuan, antara fighter TK kita, Syahrin Norafudin bukan saja handal berlumba di dalam dunia sebenar, beliau juga antara fighter sim racer yang sedang meningkat naik di tahun lepas dan juga tahun ini. Kita bersama dengan Syahrin Norafudin, jentera bernombor 378 daripada Malaysia.
Ya, itu dia. Sharon Norafudin ni memang boleh dikatakan ada bakat yang mula dikeluarkan. Boleh dikirakan ada berapa, there are a few real life drivers that are transitioning into sim racing quite nicely. Sharon Norafudin, one of those drivers. We also have later on Muhammad Hafiz Kabarudin, aka Michael Hafiz, who is also going to be very quick out there. We also have guys that have been racing in sim racing for quite some time, like Umar Aziz or Simon Sanchez. Then you have the guys like Lloyd Lachlan, who's had experience in everything, pretty much. And you have the drivers who are brand new to any form of racing, much less sim racing, like Iman Danish, who's doing a very good job out there in the pro class. So a real eclectic bunch of drivers in this series, and it'll be definitely interesting to see how this goes along. So let's jom kita baca sikit dekat komen tu.
Okey, baca Hafiz dan share. Terima kasih Macil. Kevin Ha, bakat lembu built-in. Kevin Ha.
But he has a point. Dia memang sebenarnya ada point tu sebab track ni memang narrow. Jalan dia memang susah. Kebanyakan selekor tu ada satu line saja yang boleh keluar. Macam dekat section ni, bila Zikri turun kat sini, memang susah nak tekan brake kat sini untuk pusing ke kiri. Memang dia semua boleh kira single track. Kebanyakan selekor ni. So saya boleh bercerita sikit lah. Sebenarnya saya ni ada selit sikit, spy sikit masuk dalam dia punya race. Sajalah.
Siang tadi ya.
So Surin Zavaraju dengan Lloyd Lachlan boleh dikirakan dua-dua spy di dalam, spy on the inside, yang bagi password kepada saya. So saya boleh relate masuk. Terima kasih kepada Bobby dan Melvin untuk buat practice race. So thanks to Bobby and Melvin for those practice races there. But basically, I had a few accomplices on the inside that got me into some of the practice racing there, and I got to experience firsthand how difficult this track was because I didn't have that much go here. But as you can see, with Kamal Ali coming up through the corners there, a lot of the corners there, you have a fast bend leading into a braking zone, leading into a much harder bend. So even though it looks like a very, very simple layout, the car is constantly moving, constantly dancing, and you're constantly trying to put inputs into the car. There's really only two straights where you actually have a chance to relax. So now we're going to go over Deer's Leap and go on board as we start this qualifying session. Right now, Malvinder Singh is on pole position, but we'll go on board with Kamal Ali as he goes down past Deer's Leap onto the start-finish straight, coming into the braking zone there. You got to turn in very careful and really have to make sure you get a very accurate line through that first turn before going down through the hill. It's very challenging here because you have to keep the car on the throttle. You can't use the brakes until now in order to try and get a good lap time. So you're just floating the car on the throttle all the way down the hill there, and you have to hit the brakes right at that perfect point. Now you go up to this corner here. This right-hander is absolutely flat out in these cars and very, very challenging indeed. Now you go underneath the bridge there, the Advan Bridge, and this is another difficult braking zone there. You see where that concrete dust sort of ends. You want to hit the brakes there and then turn right and keep the car on the inside as much as possible before rolling the car to the outside. Third gear, fourth gear, coming up into fifth gear, perhaps, maybe. You'll be thinking about it before hitting the brakes there. Coming into the second to last quarter, going down maybe into second gear, maybe third gear, depending on the driver's preference, before going over Deer's Leap and across the start-finish line.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kami bawakan yang terhebat, yang terpadu, yang terlaju hanya untuk anda. Dan untuk makluman tuan-tuan, anda sedang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge round yang keempat. Diam dan tak diam, malam ni kita dah bersiaran untuk minggu yang keempat hanya untuk anda. So, jangan lupa like, jangan lupa share dan pastikan anda bersama kami daripada mula sampai ke hujung. Yang mana yang sedang menyaksikan ini, jangan lepaskan peluang untuk memenangi hadiah yang diberikan pada bakal pemenang yang berjaya pada malam ini. Sebab mungkin ada jawapannya dekat apa yang anda saksikan pada malam ini.
Yeah, that's right. So do watch the stream in its entirety if you want to have a chance of winning and winning big, because there could just be clues hidden throughout this stream that might give you an idea as to what the track and car is all about, and all the questions are going to pertain to what's going to be in this stream. So do stay tuned, hit those like buttons across all of those Facebook pages, share this stream and spread that sim racing love around, and stay tuned for ZR's questions in the halftime show. You're definitely going to not want to miss out on a fantastic giveaway deal. So sekarang kita
Apple, Iman Danish lepas race masuk tinggal
Ya, itu Apple kan kalau tak silap ada kaitan sikit dengan Iman Danish ya.
Hanya kepada Iman Danish. Dan untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, saudara Apple juga merupakan seorang pelumba sunnah dari Malaysia.
Ya, so boleh kirakan Iman Danish dibimbingkan daripada kecil untuk jadi pelumba.
Tapi
mana tahu mungkin kita boleh nampak.
Kalau dapat kita saksikan, Iman Danish dia punya prestasi dia agak cemerlang dan gaya pemanduan dia sehebat dengan pelumba-pelumba yang lain. So kita tak boleh nak pandang rendah berdasarkan faktor umur walaupun beliau antara peserta yang paling muda di dalam siri pelumban pada kali ini, tapi beliau mempunyai bakat yang sama macam pelumba lain.
Ya, betul-betul juga. Dan boleh nampak sangat boleh dikirakan clear distinction there between sim racing and real racing. We've talked to a lot of our pre-race show guests when it comes to actually moving from sim racing to real life racing. I've actually been asking real world racing guests this question, and I asked it to virtually everyone throughout the course of this championship. And how hard would it be for a sim racer to actually transition to real life racing? And a lot of them actually say that the main thing really is going to be fitness and getting used to the forces, the G forces that are going to be in the car. But apart from that, you do get a very, very good grounding, very good basic training through sim racing. So it's going to be very interesting to see if some of these guys could go through into the wider world. James Baldwin is one driver who's done it in Europe, and also Jan Mardenborough, who comes from Gran Turismo, and he was a Gran Turismo champion before seeking into becoming a Nissan Works driver in the GT500 Championship in Super GT. So it is possible to have a very good championship, a very good real-life career based off of sim racing. And I hear a young Brazilian driver by the name of Igor Fraga doing fantastic stuff in Formula 4 and Formula 3 machinery as well. So do look out for that. But qualifying session, we're about halfway through, and Afizul Jai, strangely enough, not in pole position. Shami Azri is now on pole position with a 106.881. Just a tenth ahead of Jai with a 106.916, with Kama Ali third, the first in the 107s, and we have 107s from third place all the way down to 24th. 21 cars are now lapping within a second of each other out there on track. This is, I believe, the closest field we've ever had at one of these events.
Kalau tengokkan daripada atas ni, tengok track tu macam senang, tapi kata Matthew tadilah, tak boleh nak
Yang boleh dikirakan susah sebenarnya bukan dia punya kiri kanan ya. Dia punya naik turun. Do apologize, but it looks like we've lost Bob. We'll try and get him back online as soon as possible, but for now you still have me on board. But just like Bob was saying, actually, Bob, are you there? Adley? Yeah. So in any case, like Bob was saying, the track looks very simple overhead, but because of all of the elevation changes, the brakings, the uphills and the downhills, it really does. It is really one of the more difficult tracks to try and race on. So in any case, Shami Azri still on pole position. Kelvin T almost getting through with a quicker time there. A couple of the drivers there are bettering their previous laps. We are riding on board with one of our wildcard drivers, Pagvinda Singh, in the Sim R garage car, aka Roy Charles, another one of our MSF real life racing drivers in the 2-litre cars. Very, very interesting stuff indeed with those guys out there, really pushing the cars as hard as possible. As you can see, Pagvinda, he looks like he's all the way down in 22nd position, but he's still a 1:07 lap time. And there's a few other drivers that look like they're just about to break into the 1:07s. Me personally, I had a really hard time in the race to try and get under 1:08, but that just goes to show how difficult this track really is. But that just goes to show how close this grid is. The closest grid we've ever had in iRacing for any of the Adrenaline Impact races. This is going to be an exciting race. Now, we just saw some of the comments there. I believe that's Nazmi Mazli, the Drive to Survive. And he also comments, Paducah! Oh no, yes. For those of you who are wondering, Paducah is held up deep in the countryside here in Malaysia, and that's why he occasionally drops out. So he's taken to actually driving the car into town and joining our broadcast from in the car in town in order to get a better coverage. But we'll fix that for Paducah very shortly. I'm sure we can send him one of those 1XOX black SIM cards. Will really fix his coverage problems. But as you can see there, Abil Shaban Padu. Yeah, betul-betul Padu tu. So Azri, yes, Azri is on a flyer right now. So 106.641, I believe that is from... That is going to be quite a difficult lap time to actually try and catch back. That's half a second, virtually, on the rest of the field. Still, so far, only Azri and Jai in the 1:06 lap time bracket. Kamal Ali so close, 1:07.012. It could be the top three will have 1:06 lap times by the end of this qualifying session. Thanks to Mahabil Shaban for the like, and Umar Abdul Aziz, aka Umar Aziz, one of our racers, for the share. Thank you very much. And thanks to all of you guys out there for joining us this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to do the series, and very, very exciting stuff indeed. Underneath that Advan bridge he goes. Let's see what Kelvin can do on this lap. We're on board now with Kelvin T, one of the quicker drivers through there. It looks like he's down on the first two sectors. We've split the track up into 4 sectors so that you can see basically roughly corresponding to the 4 corners on the circuit that you can see there on the lap, the little 4 dots that you can see there. And it looks like Kelvin's just a little bit below his usual pace there, but he'll be able to build it up. A lot of these drivers will actually take more than 1 lap to actually warm the tires up and get themselves into a position where they can push hard for a lap time. So a lot of these guys would have gone into the pits, now coming out just to do that final attack. 13 minutes have gone in this 15-minute session. It's so close, they have to go for this final dash to the line there. Zainul Hazim comes line. He's not going to improve on his lap time. Shami Azri, he is still in pole position, but he's out there just to make sure that he defend in case of any drivers who are able to break that duct. Kevin T is out there as well. Jasri Junos will be trying to improve his lap time. Surin Selvaraju out there as well, and Zainal Hazim, indeed, lapping this track at the moment, trying to get their positions further up. And the other thing we have to look at is one of our wildcard entries there. Bobby Farid, aka Boss Bobby, in 4th place, just ahead of Eddie Adrian, who has finally been able to join us in round 4 of the series. Now, I do understand there were prior commitments to work that stopped Eddie Adrian from being able to enter the series. He was one of our quickest qualifiers in the AM class, so we're glad to see him out there on track. And we're glad to see that Bobby has definitely picked up a lot of pace around this track. He's done a lot of practice sessions. In fact, he's been hosting practice sessions for other racers throughout the course of the week, and definitely doing a fantastic job throughout the course of the race there. Zain Hazim really trying to build up the speed, going through there. Surin in the back, 22nd, still on track. Kelvin on track as well as Zainal Hazim. So Kevin T, Jasri Juno, Surin Selvaraju and Zainal Hazim, both drivers who have top 10 potential. It'll be interesting to see. Ooh, Zainal spins the car out there. Very, very easy mistake to make, going over that sausage curb that was put in there to try and tip the BTCC cars up onto their wheels, but it looks like Zainal not able to finish. And it looks like time is up for all the drivers there, and the qualifying session is over. We're about to go live onto the race and onto the grid. So we have there Aziz in 1st place. I believe that's not too sure who's there. That's Azri, sorry. Shami Azri there in 1st place, and Afizul Jai in 2nd, with Kamal Ali in 3rd. Bobby Farid is in 4th place, with Eddie Adrian in 5th, Azrael in 6th, Sanchez in 7th, Aziz in 8th, Lloyd Lachlan in 9th, and Mazdi in 10th place. It's going to be a very tight race, especially up at the front of the field, but also in the middle. I think the classic Adrenaline Impact midfield battle is really going to take off throughout the course of this race. We see some really quick drivers down there. Zikri is down in 12th place. He would have wanted to qualify much further up. He is, of course, battling with Jai for that championship. Sharil Norafudin also would have loved to have been a little bit higher, as well as James Russell, Tamizi, and Zainal. But definitely all of these drivers are really going to push hard come the start of the race. We're waiting for a couple of drivers to queue up and to grid. Just gives me enough time to take a sip of water. And now we are about to begin the race. The tension is building. The drivers are getting excited. It's going to be a very exciting run down to turn 1. A very dramatic, the possibility of very dramatic things happening, especially coming into that Foster's dogleg, that shortcut coming on to the back half of the circuit. Shabi Azri for Just Keep Racing, they're in pole position. Of course, Just Keep Racing definitely still fighting with all 4 lead of the race. The lights are on. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights. The 5 lights are on. And away we go. Shami Azri gets a good start there. Fizzle Jai bogs down a little bit. That gives a chance to Kamal Ali to try and draw alongside. Meanwhile, there's 3 cars and maybe even 4 cars behind, going 4 car wide through first corner there. And would you look at that? Brilliant stuff from all the drivers there to get through that cleanly. Now going down the hill, this braking zone up ahead is going to be very difficult indeed. Coming down into this hard right-hander, very difficult to try and get through there cleanly, but it looks like Shami Azri is able to get through there nice and neat. But there has been an incident there at the back. Number 15, number 24 not quite able to join up to the back of the field, but it looks like it's still going very strong indeed for Shami Azri up at front. Kamal Ali is able to overtake Afizul Jai, putting Jai down into 3rd place, into the clutches of Bobby Farid in 4th, Eddie Adrian in 5th. Still battling along. The cars are very, very close to each other. You can see there the traffic jam at Oulton Park has just started, and this is unlike any traffic jam you've seen. This ain't the federal highways, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a tough one. wait for Bob to try and get back on board with the race. James Russell still in second. It's in 12th place. I do apologize there. The excitement is overwhelming at the moment there. Now, again, coming through this very difficult dogleg. It's a lot narrower than the rest of the track, and there is a big curve there. There's a big accident.
Oh.
There's a big accident with James Russell off. Afizzal Jai is off. Afizzal Jai is off. Bobby is off. And quite a few other drivers have been taken out in that little skirmish there. I wonder what happened at the start of the race there. Looks like Bobby was involved and a few other drivers as well. That was a real shame because Bobby was right at the front of the field along with a couple of the other front runners there. But Shami Azri is still in first place. Kamal Ali is now in second. Azriel Nazli is in third. Eddie Adrian in fourth place, Aziz in fifth. Umar Aziz in fifth with Lloyd. And Umar Aziz now battling hard for position, as well as these two, Azriel Nazri and Eddie Adrian, battling hard for position as well. The long-time Padawan driver finally being able to get free of his work commitments to try and join us for round 4 of this championship. He really wants to put his mark on the series and score as many points as possible. But this is going to be very exciting stuff. Let's see if Azriel is able to defend coming through the Foster's kink. Blending out towards the outside there. Now this flat-out right-hander, real test of nerve going through here. It's all very, very close. Eddie Adrian might be able to make some sort of an overtaking maneuver going underneath the Advan bridge. Will he pop out of that slipstream coming up towards the braking zone here? Looks like Eddie's just putting the pressure on, and it's working, you know. Azriel just running just a little bit wide, coming out underneath the Carlu bridge, coming into the final braking zone of the lap. And they're going to go side by side. Who is it going to be? Going around the inside is Eddie Adrian. Around the outside is Azriel. They're still side by side going through Deer's Leap. That finishes the lap. Coming up throughout the start, finish straight. The two cars side by side coming up into the braking zone there. And Eddie Adrian just has to give second best to Azriel Nazli. That battle is going to go on for quite some time. And we can see that Eddie Adrian getting a fantastic run off the corner there. And now he's going to go down through this very high-speed section coming into this braking zone here. And it looks like Eddie Adrian moves himself up into a podium position. What a drive. Meanwhile, the battle for the race lead is hotting up right now. There's no driver pulling away there. Afizzal Jai, right down in 18th position, I believe. And that's quite a ways off where he usually is. Again, he got caught up in that little contretemps coming into that Foster's kink. But Kamal Ali right now for the 1XOX TKKR E-Racing Team AM. He is in second position right now, but he's battling with Shami Azri with the Just Keep Racing boys. Very, very hopeful of trying to get a win this evening. Kamal Ali pushing hard in second place. This is now blown everything wide open. Eddie Adrian's 3.3 seconds behind, so it's not impossible for Eddie Adrian to try and catch up. And of course, Azriel and Lloyd are waiting in the shadows right behind Adrian should anything happen. But Kamal Ali there beginning to close up on Shami Azri. Could we see a position change at the front of the field? Underneath the Advan bridge there they go. Meanwhile, we're going to go and have a look on board with Lloyd Loughlin coming into the braking zone here. And that's Azriel right ahead, definitely pushing very hard indeed to try and close up the gap. As you can see, the wily Australian definitely using all of his years of experience, not only in sim racing but in the real world of motorsports, to try and get that gap closer towards Azriel and really try and push the car ahead to try and make a mistake. That's really what he's trying to go for right now. Now, Lloyd is a real craftsman when it comes to these sort of close quarters dogfights, really putting the car up through the inside, the outside, and trying to dupe the car up ahead. That is what he really excels at. So the racecraft here on display for all to see. Going through this flat-out right-hander, it looks like Lloyd just takes a nicer line through there. Could he be able to catch up with Azriel? It looks like he's just not quite got the drive coming out underneath the Advan Bridge, coming into this braking zone here. A very tricky braking zone again. We see as we switch to the outside cameras underneath Karlu Bridge. And it looks like this battle is going to go on for quite some time. They're at a bit of a stalemate right now, but it looks like it's going to be a nice little battle. In 8th place is James Russell, who's pushing quite hard for himself in the URT team. He has a lot of pace in these cars, but unfortunately he just simply hasn't had the luck this season to try and get through. But it looks like this could be turning things around there. Zikri is up ahead. Remember, Zikri is in 2nd place. He's trying to fight for the championship, and right now the tables being turned the way they are, Zikri is in a fantastic position to really try and make hay while the sun shines. He's got to try and get himself to as high a position as possible. James Russell, he just needs that good result to try and give him a confidence boost. Meanwhile, Afizul Jai all the way down to 14th. He's going to have one of the hardest jobs to do right now. He's going to have to try and climb his way up through the field. This is a recovery drive from our championship leader. It's going to be very difficult to try and actually get through drivers here. It's a very difficult track to overtake, so it's going to be interesting to see how Afizul Jai does with his fight back from that 2nd lap incident. But it looks like he's closing up with Surin Selvaraju. This could be an interesting little attempted overtake coming into the inside of the corner there. Both cars going a little bit wide actually for Afizul Jai through Deer's Leap. Let's see if Jai can get that drive into Cascades. That's the fast downhill section after this corner. As he exits this corner, the Cascades S is up ahead. Will he be able to get the drive? Will he be able to get the slipstream to try and get past? It's going to be very difficult through here. Again, it's all about throttle control, staying off the brakes until this point here before they can brake and turn in and really rotate that car around. It looks like Jai is beginning to close the gap a little bit on Surin. Of course, they've got a couple of cars up ahead there who are battling for position as well, so this could really complicate things there. Afizul Jai right on the back of Surin Selvaraju. Oh, you could almost read the text on the back of the car there. You could read the serial number on the back of that car. That's how close Afizul Jai is getting to Surin. No moves to overtake just yet. Perhaps Afizul just trying to gauge when he can try and make an overtaking move there. He goes for a look on the inside there, but he knows that he can't quite make it go through there. Will he do it on the first corner? Let's have a look. He decides to go for it. He's going to try and go side by side. Will he be able to outbrake Surin? Surin's on the better racing line, but Afizul Jai just has enough speed to try and get through and get that position working there. Surin tries to go for the switch over, the crossover, but Afizul Jai managing to keep himself up into 12th place. A hard-fought fight through the field for Afizul Jai. Meanwhile, this battle is hotting up. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the battle for the lead of the race. Shami Azri in first place, Kamal Ali in second. And these two teams are really wanting to do well this evening to try and keep their championship hopes alive. Kamal Ali, the lone gunner really in this race, trying to battle with Shami Azri. Very, very close stuff indeed there. Kamal Ali trying to go around the inside, trying to go around the outside. He's going to go around the outside. They're going to cross the line side by side. It's going to be an outbraking maneuver coming into turn one. Around the outside, just about hanging on. And Kamal Ali is your new race leader coming down into Cascades. That was an amazing move around the outside of turn one. What a drive. Umar Aziz has a little bit of a situation in front of him as Azrael gets very sideways there. His teammate just getting the car sideways. That was almost the perfect wingman move. He saw his teammate get sideways. He knew he had to make sure he was out in the front. Afizul Jai spins. Afizul Jai spins. He's now down into 19th, into 20th place. This can't do his championship hopes any good there. Azrael Nazli also going off the track. There's quite a few drivers going off the track right now. Could it be that the tyres are beginning to wear quite a bit? This track can be quite hard on tyres. There's not a lot of long straights for the tyres to cool down. The cars are constantly turning left, right, up, down, braking and accelerating, so it could be very difficult indeed. Zikri, meanwhile, he knows he has a golden opportunity if he could begin to pass drivers just coming up onto the inside there. James Russell closing the door with inches to spare. This is high accuracy racing for both drivers right now. Zikri in 7th place, James Russell in 6th. They're bombing down cascades coming into this Foster's turn here. Over the curve goes Zikri. He's using the curve there. Some drivers even try and use the inside of the curb to try and go just a little bit quicker. But Zikri there, flat out through that corner, going underneath the Advan Bridge. Let's see if he is able to try and close up to Russell. Remember, Zikri is the closest man to a Fizzle Giant in terms of the championship. So he is in a fantastic position to try and get as many points as he can to try and overhaul Fizzle Jai, who unfortunately is in 20th position. He fought his way back up to 12th, remember. Now he has to do it all over again. A very difficult job there for our championship leader. But Zikri here, he's going to try his level best to try and close the gap. And now again, Shami Azri, he's not being left behind by Kamal Ali, is he? So a very, very difficult race for these two drivers. It's lap 12. We're just about at the halfway mark, roughly, of the race. So we might see perhaps a 25-lap race around this track. This is the shortest track of the season, just under 2 kilometers, I believe, in length, or just over. Not too sure. You can leave me a comment down below if you know the exact length. We'd love to have you guys correct us down below if you see anything, if I get my facts wrong. And whilst you're down there, do like all of those pages, share those pages with all of your friends, share this stream and spread that sim racing love around. Who knows, you could be in to win and win big. But now Shami Azri, speaking of winning big, he has one big obstacle when it comes between himself and the race lead there. Azri, he did start on pole position. He got a so-so start, but managed to capitalize on the opening laps to really open up that gap. But right now, Kamal Ali, he managed to make that overtaking maneuver around the outside of turn 1, and now they're beginning to actually lap slower cars. This is going to really play into this battle, and it looks like that slower car there, that lap car, has given Shami Azri an opportunity to try and overtake coming into this braking zone here. Will he be able to do it? They're going to go side by side around this double apex right-hander, and it looks like Kamal Ali had to hang that car all the way around the outside of that corner to try and keep that car ahead. This is a battle worth savoring. I would guarantee you all these guys will be saving their iRacing replays to watch this one. Fantastic racing, and this has been going on for virtually 14 laps at this point, and I can see it going on for quite a few more laps. Meanwhile, Lloyd Lachlan, he's been climbing up through the field steadily, slowly but surely. He's now caught up with Eddie Adrian. It's going to be a battle to see who will be able to get that 3rd place. Of course, there are cash prizes for the podium position for these races. So 1st, 2nd and 3rd are going to get a check from XOX, and it's definitely enough of an incentive. Lloyd will be thinking about points, but he will also definitely be thinking about trying to get past Eddie Adrian.
Okay, Matt, nampak gayanya aku punya jangkaan aku kali ni agak merosot lah. Sorry, aku tadi ada sedikit masalah teknikal dan aku menjagakan Jai tadi dapat berada di podium teratas. Nampak kali gaya ni. Kali ni Kamal Ali di tempat pertama, Aziz di tempat kedua, dan kalau Adrian di tempat yang ketiga. Kedudukan telah pun berubah. Mungkin kita takkan dapat lihat Jai berada di kedudukan 3 teratas pada minggu ini.
Ya, itu yang kemalangan di lap kedua yang tersilap. So kita dapat juga injek bawa balik. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Minta maaf. Aku punya PC ni mengalami sedikit masalah. Bukan masalah internet tapi masalah PC ni. So minta maaf semua. Dan kali ni kita kembali ke litar. Akhirnya aku sempat juga berada di kelas amatur bersama dengan Matthew.
Ya, itu dia. So kita boleh updatekan sikit kepada Bob ya. Hafiz Ujai ada berlawan di hadapan tetapi ada sedikit kemalangan yang so dia terpaksa turun kepada posisi ke-20-an kan. So dia ada juga fight back. Dia ada juga fight back sampai posisi ke-12 tetapi dia pun turun, ada spin. Mungkin ada kontak ataupun sesuatu yang kita nampak tu, so dia turun balik ke posisi 22. So ini adalah peluang, boleh dikirakan peluang yang sangat bagus untuk Zikri yang berada di tempat yang ke-7. Kalau dia boleh motongi 2-3 kereta lagi, dia memang boleh menyingkatkan battle untuk championship, sebab points position Hafiz Ujai agak boleh dikirakan agak cantik sekarang, tetapi nampaknya mungkin dia akan dapat hanya satu markah pada track ni pada kali ini. Tapi Zikri berada di tempat yang boleh dapati markah yang lebih, points yang lebih. So mana tahu mungkin kita boleh nampak championship tu semakin ketat.
Ya, betul. Okey, kita berada di lap yang ke-16 sekarang ni. Muhammad Zikri daripada XOX Racing, perebutan tempat kendam yang mana beliau cuba mengejar James Russell yang berada di hadapan beliau, manakala Syahrin Nufruddin mengikuti rapat Muhammad Zikri daripada XOX Racing. Pusingan lap yang ke-16 sekarang ini. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anda sekarang sedang menyaksikan amateur class di XOX Esports Challenge round yang keempat yang sedang berlangsung di Oulton Park. Kat mana ni? Negeri mana ni? Negara mana ni?
Ni dekat England, UK.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Wonderful English countryside out there in the heart of England, basically in the middle of the UK. Wonderful sceneries and very nice stately home. It's where you'd expect to have a horse racing course, but in fact they have a motor racing course in the grounds. Very, very interesting indeed. So where you would find horses originally, you would now find a different kind of horsepower.
Itu dia, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Okey, Umar Aziz daripada Stream.my sekarang ni dapat kita saksikan beliau menggunakan deck, ada tulisan Stream.my, SSAD dan juga apa tu. Okey, sekarang berada di kedudukan yang ke-6, cuba mengejar James Russell yang berada di hadapannya. Oh, tu dia, 4 kereta saing bersaing hebat di antara satu sama lain.
Itu dia. Dan ya, so boleh dikirakan persaingan yang agak hebat. Very, very close battle there. They're going to go side by side there. We're on board with Omar Aziz. That's Zikri behind. Remember, Zikri is fighting for the championship and he has a golden opportunity now. He's in 7th place. He will want to desperately try and climb up the leaderboard as much as possible. If he would have scripted it any other way, he would be going for the win. But he's now down in 7th place and he has to fight tooth and nail to try and get past Omar Aziz. He almost had a chance, an opportunity there, going through that left-hander. Now going through the first corner here, they're going to go just a little bit wide, managing to keep the car in one piece. It's going to be very dangerous to run the car wide out there, because if the car snaps sideways, it's pretty much game over. It's a high-speed impact there. But now you can see how tight the battle is. Zikri trying every single racing line he could figure or think of to try and get a position on Omar Aziz. Again, like I said, this has big importance in the championship, but also up ahead with Kamal Ali and Shami Azri battling out. This has turned out to be a very interesting race.
Ya, itu dia, tuan-tuan. Manakala apa dah jadi dengan Kamal Ali yang berada di hadapan, aku rasa beliau agak selesa sekarang ni berada di kedudukan yang hadapan sekali. Kamal Ali, ini dia Kamal Ali daripada pasukan XOX TKKR E-Racing Team. Nampak gaya bersaing hebat dengan Azri yang berada di belakang dia, cuba mengejar dan nampak gaya kedudukan pertama dan juga tempat kedua tidak jauh kalau tak silap aku sekarang ini. Itu masih lagi cuba mengejar Kamal Ali yang berada di kedudukan yang pertama daripada pasukan XOX TKKR Racing Team.
Ya, betul juga. Dan kita boleh saksikan yang hanya ada 5 minit lagi di dalam perlumbaan, 4 minit lagi lebih kurang dalam perlumbaan. So mungkin kepada lap ketiga atau kedua sebelum habis tu, itulah masa yang perlumbaan ni boleh dikirakan betul-betul meletup dengan driver yang keluar. Mungkin kita akan ke lap 24 ataupun 25. So it looks like it's going to go to a lap 24, maybe a lap 25, depending on where the drivers come out. So now this is watching a replay from Matthew Graham. Let's see what happens. Coming into the corner there. Ooh! Just a bit of a tap on the back there. That's the difficulty with that corner. It's so hard to judge your braking points there that it could very easily lead to a situation like that. But I would imagine Matthew Graham not the happiest man on the racetrack from that one.
Okey, dia dah Muhammad Zikri daripada G-Skip Racing. Sekarang ni perebutan tempat ke-6 yang mana cuba mengejar Aziz di kedudukan ke-6, manakala Syahrin Nufruddin berada di kedudukan yang ke-8 cuba mengejar Muhammad Zikri sekarang ini. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anda sekarang sedang berada di pusingan yang ke-20 dan perlumbaan ada beberapa pusingan saja lagi, dan selagi perlumbaan tidak ceklek tidak diturunkan, ini bermakna setiap pelumba ada peluang untuk mengejar kedudukan yang lebih baik daripada sekarang ini. Okey, Muhammad Zikri di kedudukan ke-7 sekarang ini cuba mengejar Aziz di hadapan beliau.
Ya, itu dia, dan peluang dia untuk cuma mengatasi Hafizul Jai yang dapat memenangi 3 perlumbaan. Itulah yang dia tengah berlumba untuk tu. Dan lagi satu karakter dalam series ni, Lloyd Loughlin. So Lloyd Loughlin now, he's battling for his, I believe what would be his first podium position this year, at least, in the Adrenaline Impact XOX Esports Challenge. Really pushing the car through there. And he's fighting with Eddie Adrian, who's a very quick driver indeed, pushing the car very fast through the cascades. As you can see, coming into the braking zone, there are two drivers with very different personalities. Eddie Adrian likes to throw the car around. The car is moving quite a lot on the tires there. He's using a lot more tire right now than Lloyd, who's being very smooth, very calm, and very calculated. There's not a lot of time left for Lloyd to try and make that move. Eddie Adrian has not a lot of time left to defend it as well, so it could be very interesting to see how the podium positions end up. It's all change, or potentially going to be all change come the end of the race.
Kuasa boleh ni, Lloyd Loughlin ni boleh ni, sebab dia sekarang ni berada di kedudukan yang ke-4. So sekiranya Azri ataupun Adrian terbabas sedikit atau mengalami nasib yang kurang baik, aku rasa Lloyd Loughlin boleh memintas.
Ya, itu yang kita boleh panggilkan di dalam dunia sim racing ni sebagai mengutip sayur.
Mengutip sayur Okey, Lloyd Loughlin daripada Todak Asia, antara salah satu pasukan Todak yang bertanding hebat di dalam XOX Challenge kepada kali ini.
Ya, itu dia. Shami Azri really started to put a lot of pressure on Kamal Ali. You can just about read the tagline from 1XOX at the back of that car there. It's going to be huge for Kamal Ali if he can bring this race win home. They were doing quite well for themselves at the front of the field, but of course Bobby Farid, the wildcard driver racing for that team, unfortunately had that slight off. So it looks like Kamal Ali is going to be in the lead so far. It's a 4/10 of a second separate Kamal Ali and Azri. It could be, looks like they're backing off the pace ever so slightly here. We're just a little bit off when it comes to the lap count there. We might get a lap 23, a 23 lap race. Are they beginning to back it up? Nope, they decide not to, because of course very difficult to try and do that here. But it looks like, yes, we will have a 23 lap race. This is the final lap for Shami Azri and Kamal Ali on the grass there, really pushing the cars very hard indeed. So the checkered flag will be waiting for these two drivers at the end of this lap. This is going to be the final lap. They're going to be pushing as hard as possible. Kamal Ali knows this. He's going to be trying to cover any possible moves from Shami Azri. Shami, a lot of experience underneath that right foot, so don't discount it just yet. Just keep racing cars in that neat little pearl white paint job that they've got. Blasting through the hills, coming into the braking zone, coming up ahead is going to be very difficult. Ooh.
Itu dah tuan-tuan dan puan, ini kita jangkakan ini merupakan pusingan yang terakhir, lap yang ke-23 sekarang ini. Syami Azri masih lagi cuba mengejar Kamal Ali yang berada di hadapan beliau, yang mana sekarang ini Syami Azri cuba memintas di corner sekarang ini. Ini
dia final lap. It's going to go across the line. Will Shami Azri be able to do it? No, he will not. Kamal Ali takes his first race win of the season in the XOX Esports Challenge, bringing it home in first place, 0.2 of a second away from Shami Azri. This battle is going all the way to the wire. They're just about crossing the line. So it's Kamal Ali from Shami Azri with Eddie Adrian in third place. Lloyd Lachlan is in fourth with James Russell, perhaps really vindicated in fifth position after a beautiful race there. Umar Aziz in sixth place, Zikri in seventh, Sharil in eighth, Surin in ninth place with Zainal in 10th. Agak menakjubkan pada saya, Bob.
Dan Kamal Ali tempat pertama.
Muhammad Noor.
Kedudukannya dah kali ni pemenang dia tak seperti biasa di amatur kelas Okey, Kamal Ali di tempat kedua, dia di tempat yang ketiga kali ni. Manakala Hafizul Jai di tempat ke-20 antara pemenang podium musim round pertama, kedua dan juga ketiga. Kali ni Hafizul Jai hanya selesa berada di kedudukan yang ke-20 pada malam ini.
Ya, itu dia. So Hafizul Jai is really going to rue the lost opportunity there. He probably still will be in the lead of the championship. Mohamed Zikri didn't quite manage to take advantage of that situation with Jai there. But we're going to have a quick look at the results again. Once again, the provisional results. Kamal Ali in first place with Shami Azri in second. Eddie Adrian in third with Lloyd Lachlan in fourth. A battle for first and second and a battle for third and fourth. Really topping off a fantastic race there. James Russell has his best result of the season in fifth place. We knew he had the pace. It's just a case of trying to avoid the crashes and the wreckages, which we didn't have much of, to be fair. It was very, very clean racing indeed. Betul-betul clean kan, Bob?
Ya.
Kita boleh tengok. Ya, kita boleh tengok semakin lama dia orang berubah.
Itu dah tuan-tuan, pasukan XOX TKKR Racing di tempat pertama.
Dan di posisi yang bawah tu Surin Selvaraju there in 9th place with Zainal Hazim in 10th, covering off the top 10 positions. Leon Fai doing quite well for himself in 11th place, but Vidijit Singh not the best results there, but he did manage to hold off Muhammad Noor, aka Mat Noor of the MSR veteran team. Only 1/10 of a second there, basically, between those two drivers. Very, very entertaining battle, which we'll probably have to look through in the iRacing files later on. But Jaspreet Jonas is in 14th place with Kelvin T in 15th. Simon Sanchez in 16th. Pagvinder Singh, aka Roy Charles, in 17th. And this is where we get to the guys that were perhaps involved in those earlier incidents. Bobby Farid, 18th. Matthew Graham, 19th. And Hafizul Jai, 20th. All drivers that didn't quite have luck go for them. So mungkin menasib malang sikit untuk Bobby, Matthew dan Jai.
Ya. Okey, apa pun saya nak memohon maaf sikit, Matt. Malam ni aku punya ada sedikit masalah. So, Matt, hari ni aku tengok gigi. Minta maaf, Matt. Sebab kadang-kadang aku boleh masuk, kadang-kadang aku tak boleh masuk. So, itu mungkin kesilapan daripada aku sendiri lah. Daripada saya minta maaf sebab saya ada masalah teknikal sedikit dekat sini. Dan untuk kalau saya bersiaran jauh daripada Matt, saya bersiaran daripada Kuala Kangsar. Kuala Kangsar, Perak.
Itulah masalah yang kita ada sekarang. Kita boleh faham lah dengan MCO sekarang. So kita semua boleh daripada host, kita jadi host dan tukang setup studio dan tukang technician sekali. So
macam saya dekat Kuala Kangsar, Perak. Tuan producer kita dekat Bangi. Macam Matt daripada
Subang.
Dekat mana tu?
Subang.
So kalau ada technical masalah teknikal apa-apa, memang kami kena solve sendiri kena buat. Tambah lagi sebab kita tengah buat live broadcast kan.
Ya, itulah yang benda yang paling susah sebenarnya di dalam job ni, sebab kita live broadcast dan studio pun kita milik sendiri. Studio dalam bilik.
Apa pun kita cuba yang terbaik khas untuk anda semua.
Ya, itu dia. So hopefully you guys were entertained by that race. One of the cleanest races and yet one of the more dramatic races of the season. We were quite surprised to see there were not that many incidents involved in the AM race. So that would be very interesting stuff indeed to watch. We were expecting problems, especially down at the Foster's shortcut there, but it looks like everyone was able to drive through cleanly. There were a lot of practice races, I know, for the guys there, and it looks like it's been paying off by leaps and bounds for all the guys out there.
Iya, itu dah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Dan
Iya, itu dia. So,
Okey,
in
kepada tuan-tuan
yeah.
dan puan jangan ke mana-mana. Selepas ini, Matt,
Yeah, selepas ni kita ada one XOX giveaway challenge. So we're going to go over to ZR and Co at the one XOX studios. So we're going to take a short break, but do stay tuned because those guys are going to clue you in on how to win that Oppo A93 phone, that SteelSeries gaming headset, and all those SIM cards. So do stay tuned to that. Make sure you've liked all of our pages and shared and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So special thanks goes out to media partner Galeri Kereta, XOX Mobile, One XOX, XOX eSIM, and Estremo Oil of Italy. And we thank you all for watching the race. Do stay tuned for the giveaway, and we'll be right back right after Zada's segment with the pro race. So do stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
okey, terus, bye-bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Dan selamat malam kepada viewer-viewer yang sedang menyaksikan kita pada malam ni.
Betul.
Bagi XOX Esports Challenge
2020 untuk pusingan yang keempat
Di mana?
di Oulton Park, Fosters, United Kingdom.
Sebaik. Kalau saya sebut jadi Oulton White Coffee.
Sebab tu saya ada malam ni. Okey, nak sebut adrenalin pun susah. Sebab tu saya kena tolong dia. Untuk sebut perkataan paling susah ni.
Takut jadi Oulton White Coffee Ulu Kelang.
Alright guys. So bersama dengan saya pada minggu ini Zaid Manaf dan juga bersama dengan kawan saya dekat sini
Muhammad ZR guys. Ya.
Alright. So kita pada malam ini kita bersiaran secara langsung. Alright. So bersama juga daripada tadi yang anda dah tengok tadi iaitu perlumbaan iRacing yang dibawakan khas oleh Adrenaline Impact, anjuran bersama XOX, One XOX, Minyak Estremo, TKKR Racing Team, itu semua sponsor-sponsor yang ada.
Macam-macam. Dan tak lupa juga pada sponsor kita. Satu lagi sponsor kita.
Satu lagi.
Makanan kita untuk malam ni guys.
Sedap padu tu.
Ayam cincang 7 warisan. Cincang. Sangat.
Alright. So memang aku makan tadi yang berair dong.
Absolutely.
Lepas tu coconut shake pula.
Memang
padu combination dia. Alright, kalau korang berminat nak dapatkan ayam cincang 7 warisan ni kat mana
Dekat di USJ 1 guys.
USJ 1 kedai dia.
So kalau orang-orang Subang bolehlah terus serbu dekat kedai dia. Ataupun kalau orang jauh bukan orang Subang, kalau dia rasa dia nak teringin
kan. Boleh dapatkan juga, kontak saja nombor yang tertera di skrin ni. Alright. Dan korang juga boleh tengok, check out diorang punya social media di Facebook mereka Ayam Cincang 7 Warisan dan juga di Instagram mereka Ayam Cincang _7 Warisan.
7 warisan lah, lama ni.
7 warisan daripada zaman hang tu.
Kira hang jebat hang liquid makan ni lah.
Lepak makan orang potong pakai tabing sari tu. Alright. Okay, so itu dia. Dan kita juga sebenarnya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada pengacara kita yang berada di lokasi race iaitu saudara Max dan juga
Encik Bob. Encik Bob.
Diorang memang aku tengok macam macam real, macam tengok dia memang real pun.
Macam kat dalam track dia buat dia.
Dalam track. Right. So kalau korang siapa yang tengok ni mungkin confused, sebenarnya itu adalah iRacing. Pelumba-pelumba tu bukannya betul-betul berada kat sana pun kan.
Ya, betul.
Diorang semua masing-masing berada di rumah masing-masing. Kita adakan virtual racing dan itulah dia tournament kita kali ni
ni first tournament kita sebenarnya.
First tournament XOX Esports Challenge 2020 dan kita lancarkan dengan iRacing. Okey. Dan yang tadi baru kita tengok tadi adalah perlumbaan untuk kategori amateur.
Tapi tu amateur. Tapi kalau tengok tadi, kalau amateur pun dah macam tu, macam mana profesional? Kejap lagi. Kejap lagi macam mana?
Lepas session ni kita ada start terus untuk kategori pro pula.
Wow.
Memang kalau amateur pun aku rasa kalau aku masuk aku tak lepas lah.
Betul, memang tak lepas. Memang tak lepas.
Aku beginner bawah lagi.
Diorang punya skill tu, memang diorang punya training skill diorang, lepas tu freestyle diorang. Ada freestyle? Ada freestyle lah.
Ada. Daripada kalau korang tengok qualifying masing-masing punya masa tu semua rapat-rapat je kan.
Betul.
Memang saingan sengit. Jadi itulah dia, untuk malam ni kita telah pun habis settle saja untuk kategori amatur pusingan yang keempat. Siaran langsung daripada Oulton Park, Fosters, United Kingdom.
Bukan Oulton White Coffee
Bukan. Itu lain, itu kedai makan.
Itu kedai makan guys. Okay, tapi untuk malam ni yang special ni untuk korang guys, untuk viewers untuk malam ni kita ada apa ni?
kita nak buat giveaway session. Kita dah spend lebih kurang hampir 25,000 untuk diberikan kepada penonton-penonton di rumah. Okey, korang tak payah nak keluar rumah, korang boleh menang hadiah. Alright.
Dengan syarat-syarat yang mudah lah kan.
Ada 3 syarat-syarat dia. Okey, boleh saya izinkan saya untuk
boleh, silakan.
Terima syarat dia.
Silakan ni.
Alright, syarat yang pertama. Okey, dengar betul. Pastikan anda semua telah pun like 4 page ni iaitu page yang pertama XOX, ONE jarak XOX. Okey. Page kedua XOX Malaysia, page ketiga TKKR Racing Team dan page keempat Adrenaline Impact. Okey.
Alright.
Pastikan like 4 page ni. Syarat kedua
Syarat kedua, korang kena pastikan korang share live kita untuk malam ni. Share lah dekat group mana-mana pun, tapi make sure korang ada caption. Korang kena pastikan korang letak hashtag XOX Esports Challenge 2020. Alright, yang tu penting.
Okey, itu penting So dah settle 2 syarat pertama. Yang ketiga pula, syarat terakhir, pastikan korang stay tune daripada awal race ni sampai habis. Sebab apa? Kita akan keluarkan soalan-soalan quiz untuk dijawab. Ada 5 soalan je. 5 soalan tu mudah sangat.
Betul.
Alright. And kita akan bacakan soalan dia kejap lagi. So pastikan korang stay. Sebab apa? Sebab soalan-soalan tu adalah berdasarkan race pada malam ini. Okay, kalau korang termiss, jangan risau, kopi je.
Kalau dorang tak tahu, dorang boleh tiru guys. Korang boleh tiru guys. Kalau tak tahu jawapan dia, korang boleh tiru yang orang jawab tu guys.
Tengok soalan, jawapan dia macam power, macam betul je ni.
Macam betul ni, macam betul.
Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Kan senang.
Alright. So guys, tapi sebelum kita baca soalan-soalan yang 5 soalan ni kita nak bagi kejap lagi. Soalan pun dah ada dekat kita orang.
Betul.
So kita review kita punya hadiah untuk malam ni guys.
Betul. Kita ada 10 hadiah kita nak bagi. Alright. So untuk 5 orang yang pertama, ada 10 orang pemenang kita akan pilih kejap lagi. 5 orang akan membawa pulang sekeping SIM card One XOX berserta 10 gig tersedia dekat dalam tu.
10 GB guys.
10 GB.
10 GB, bukan 10 GB tu bukan untuk sebulan guys. 10 GB ni korang boleh manage data korang nak pakai bulan ni berapa, bulan depan berapa guys.
Betul.
Tapi kalau nak info lanjut korang boleh kita akan bagi tahulah macam mana kan.
Ataupun korang boleh check saja di website kita di www.onexox.my. Alright. So sebenarnya produk One XOX ni adalah produk yang menggalakkan orang ramai untuk berjimat.
Betul.
Dan sebab tu jugalah kalau korang tengok benda tu 10 GB ni bukan saja boleh carry forward sampai bulan-bulan seterusnya, korang juga boleh share kepada orang lain.
Wow, boleh share juga. Boleh share guys. Tapi bukan tu je, bukan 5 je kita nak bagi yang SIM card tu. Kita tambah lagi. Kita ada 3 pemenang untuk plan B59 kita ni. 3 pemenang B59 plus 3 bulan bil percuma guys.
3 bulan bil, korang tak payah nak fikir, korang boleh letak tepi komitmen korang bulan tu.
Betul, percuma. Lepas tu korang boleh pakai boleh unlimited call,
internet high speed
betul
lah.
Betul.
Kalau korang memang gamers, pakailah SIM card One XOX, memang korang confirm stable lah korang punya line ni
betul.
Memang dah pernah try dah pun.
Betul.
So itu dah kita dah ceritakan untuk 8 orang pemenang yang akan bawa pulang hadiah ni
So kita ada 2 lagi hadiah utama guys. 2 lagi hadiah utama. Betul. So, hadiah utama di depan mata kita orang ni guys. Yang ni. Yang sebelah tu apa ni?
Yang sebelah sini ini adalah headset daripada Steel Series iaitu Actis 5.
Wow.
Okay? Kepada siapa-siapa yang main game PC ataupun yang korang main PS5 ke PS4 ke, korang cocok je, korang akan rasa macam korang kat dalam dunia game tu.
Betul.
Memang quality dia tip top.
Lah macam dia punya best gaming headset
Betul.
Tu best gaming. And then korang
macam-macam dia punya award menang.
Dia ada award lagi, best gaming headset 20 apa lagi macam-macam lah. Kalau nanti korang kalau nak dapatkan, korang kena stay tune sampai habis kita punya program ni guys. Bukan tu je, kita juga ada Oppo A93 guys.
Yes, Oppo A93 dan bukan datang dengan handphone saja Apa lagi dia bagi sekali dengan handphone tu?
Dia bagi SIM card One guys. Lepas tu yang paling best plus 6 bulan bil percuma.
Kalau tadi 3 bulan ni 6 bulan guys. Setengah tahun korang tak payah fikir pasal bil telefon. Sebab apa? Disponsor oleh One XOX. Memang bertuah.
Betul.
Alright, so sekarang ni kita dah bagi tahu
Call back. Atas motor. Dah bunyi call guys.
Alright. Okay, kita tak nak buang masa. Sekarang ni kita akan reveal pula apa soalan-soalan dia.
Ya.
Okay?
Soalan dia berbunyi macam ni.
Okay.
Soalan pertama,
yang pertama, berapakah tempoh masa bagi perlumbaan kelas pro?
Kejap lagi.
Kejap lagi. Tadi tu adalah
amatur.
Kategori amatur.
Okay.
Sekarang ni untuk kategori pro, berapakah tempoh masa perlumbaan tersebut? Itu soalan pertama.
Soalan kedua, namakan juara kategori amatur yang baru diumumkan sebentar tadi. Dah tahu kan?
Dah tahu jawapan dia.
Dah tahu kan? Alright, soalan kita Yit.
Soalan ketiga, namakan 2 orang pengulas yang mengacara perlumbaan malam tadi. Bukan kita orang.
Bukan kami.
Bukan kita orang. Okay, seorang tak ulas perlumbaan. Yang saudara 2 orang tadi tu. Kita dah sebut tadi nama 2 orang.
Kita dah bocor dah jawapan, guys. Dah bocor dah.
Spoiler alert. Alright, soalan keempat M.
Okey, berapa unit 1 XOX Black B59 plus 3 bulan bil percuma ditawarkan kepada penonton malam ini? Berapa pemenang?
Berapa pemenang untuk package tu?
Ni pun kita dah bocor kan?
Ini pun dah bocor tadi.
Kan
Baru dia sebut tadi.
Kalau korang nak tahu, tu ada poster tu korang boleh nampak. Dah bagi tahu lagi. Senang kan?
Kita cakap soalan ni memang senang. Dan soalan yang terakhir pula. Namakan lita perlumbaan beserta negara untuk round 4. Ini pun dah bagi tahu tadi.
Kita dah bagi tahu. Bukan Ulu Kelang guys.
Bukan Oulton Park Coffee. Apa yang tu lebih kurang tu? Alright. So itu dia 5 soalan. Kalau korang terlepas, jangan risau, korang boleh check out kat dalam comment section. Okay, kita dah pun pinkan soalan-soalan tersebut.
Betul.
Alright, berserta dengan terma dan syarat.
Alright.
Okay.
So cara-cara pemenang dia kita nak macam mana kan?
Macam nak kita nak pilih pemenang tersebut?
Macam mana kita nak pilih? Okey, so korang kena ikut step-step yang kita dah bagi tadi. So korang dah kena jawab soalan yang betul, korang dah kena share, korang kena follow part page, and then kita akan shortlist nama korang. Bila dah shortlist tu, kita akan masuk dekat kotak ajaib guys.
Kotak ajaib cabut
kotak ajaib. Kita akan buat lucky draw, and then saya akan cabut nama korang kejap lagi lepas habis kategori pro.
Dia yang cabut. Tangan dia wangi, tangan saya busuk. Saya cabut je lagi yang kena kosong je. Alright.
Okay.
So, itu dia cara-cara pemilihan pemenang.
Yep.
So, apa lagi yang korang tunggu? Pastikan korang stay tune sampai ke penghujung rancangan.
Betul.
Alright. So, sekarang ni kita akan bagi laluan pula untuk pengacara majlis untuk meneruskan untuk kategori perlumbaan profesional. Alright. Dan korang habis race ni, korang pastikan korang stay lagi. Sebab apa? Kita akan announce pula nama-nama pemenang.
Betul.
Selepas ini.
So kita bersama dengan Encik Bob dan juga Max.
Alright.
Okay, see you guys.
Ciao.
Check it out. Let's go.
And we are back. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the XOX Esports Challenge. Hope you guys enjoyed that fantastic race that we just saw. Absolutely spectacular stuff indeed. Now we're going to go on to the pro event here at the Oulton Park Foster's Circuit. Absolutely spectacular racing coming at you live. We just saw ZR there talk about the wonderful gifts on offer, so do stay tuned to the end of the program and the end of the stream. It's going to be absolutely wild. I'm your host for this evening, Matthew Palmer, and with me is Encik Bob. Encik Bob,
Hai.
apa khabar balik?
Hari ini okey, cuma ada sedikit masalah teknikal, tapi kita cuba yang terbaik hanya untuk anda pada malam ini.
Ya, itu dia. Kita akan bagi 100% walaupun equipment tu mungkin 50-50 kadang, tapi harap maklum sebab kita dalam MCO. So kita buat sebenarnya daripada rumah kan. So itu yang dia jadi ada hiccup sikit, ada blooper sikit. So,
saya daripada Kuala Gangsa, producer kita dekat Bangi, Matt dekat
Subang.
Subang
Jaya,
so,
Selangor.
Ya, lepas tu tim penaja kita pun dekat tempat lain. So kami sebenarnya berada di rumah masing-masing. Itu antara cabaran kita membawakan live stream ini kepada anda.
Itu dia. Tapi harap-harap kita boleh dapatkan the best lah. So thankfully we'll have the best for you. Special thanks goes out to our media partner, Galeri Kereta. You saw the clip earlier on. We're going to show it again. These beautiful MX-5 cars that they shot pre-MCO. Galeri Kereta is one of the best automotive lifestyle and automotive one of the best media platforms for car culture in Malaysia. So really awesome cars out there. The Junetsu MX-5 being a particular highlight, and we have also one of the Rocket Bunny MX-5s as well for you to take a look. So do check out their streams and their videos all throughout Facebook and YouTube in particular, and also check out their merch. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Memang cantik.
Ya.
Kereta ni.
Okey, barang-barang merchandise Galeri Kereta, anda boleh pergi ke Shopee sebab Galeri Kereta ada menjual semua produk-produk mereka di Shopee. Antaranya lah selain daripada itu, mereka juga ada di Facebook, mereka juga ada di YouTube, dan semua merchandise anda boleh tekan link di Shopee.
Itu dia. So memang berikan you have a good snapshot of car culture in Malaysia. Really high quality builds, some of the best cars out there, and also some fantastic merch. So do support our guys there, Galeri Kereta. It's a hard time for car culture in Malaysia, what with the MCO and the fact that we can't run events right now. So do give our boys at Galeri Kereta some love and get some of that merch in your fantastic quality merch as well. So do check that out. I'm still looking very nicely at those caps. Topi tu memang cantik kan.
Okay, sekarang ni kita ada top 10 drivers yang mana setakat ini kita mengikuti dengan mata 58 mata, Ilham Halabi di kedudukan kedua 48 mata, Dominic Ng dengan catatan dengan kutipan mata 43, keempat Muhammad Ibrahim 28 mata, Iman Danish 25 mata, Saiful Arifin 25 mata, Ruben Wong 15 mata, Samir Aizat Muhammad Hanafiah 14 mata, Freddy Ng 12 mata, dan juga Muhammad Taki 12 mata.
Yeah, that's right. The top 3 still in with a realistic chance of winning the championship. So Miko Nasi, Ilham Halabi dan Dominic Ang boleh dianggapkan masih ada peluang untuk memenangi championship. Ibrahim dengan Iman Danish mungkin kena cuba kuat sikit dengan Saiful Arifin sekali sebab dia dua-dua pun dengan 25 markah tu. So those two drivers with 25 points are going to have to work very hard in order to try and catch up to Miko Nasi. But the top 3 still very tight indeed. This race could be very pivotal for Miko Nasi's chances as the champion and for some of the other drivers as well to improve their positions. So do stay tuned. It's going to be a very interesting race.
Dan ini dia Pro Class Team Standing setakat 18 Januari 2020. Full Focus Racing masih berada di kedudukan yang teratas dengan 86 mata.
Ya, itu dia. Product Racing boleh dikirakan ada peluang juga. Masih kurang daripada dalam lingkuran 15 markah. So memang ada chance juga untuk Todak Racing cuba menutupkan gap tu. URT rate secara matematik masih ada peluang. Macam Encik Bob selalu cakap kan, never say never. So the top 2 teams still in with a shot of winning there. Full Focus Racing definitely has commanding position in the championship, but Todak Racing there still with a chance of winning the championship. Few other notable names there: Todak Motorsports, URT Red and URT Pink. Still, Todak Motorsports and URT Pink especially are in a tight battle for that 4th place spot.
Ya, manakala Hyperboost Taurus dengan 17 mata, manakala Todak Revolution 15 mata sekarang ini.
Itu pun boleh dikirakan dekat dengan paduan SRCA pun ada peluang untuk three-way battle yang berada di tengah-tengah tu. So lots of battles at the top and at the bottom in the team's championship. It's going to be very interesting to see how that all plans out.
Ya. Okey, tadi kita dah menyaksikan kelas amatur dan kini kami bawakan yang terhebat, yang terpadu, yang terlaju khas untuk anda. Okey Matt, sekarang ni kita bakal menyaksikan kelas pro pula, yang mana kita dah menyaksikan 3 round sebelum ini, dan malam ini adalah round yang keempat, mereka akan berlumba sekali lagi.
Itu dia. So right now, Ibrahim is the fastest man out on track. Now remember, these guys, the difference between the pro car and the AM car is that in the AM car they have to run a totally fixed setup. That means they can't change anything. They can't even change the tire pressures on the cars. They have to adapt their driving style to the baseline setup that iRacing gives them. But in the pro class, they're allowed to adjust the car's suspension, cambers, toes, and things like that to try and get the most out of the car. You can see here, especially, the track here really does suit the drivers that can tune the cars very well, but it's all very, very close indeed, and you can tell these guys are in the pro categories there. Ibrahim up there at the front, 105.477, with Nakib in second, 105.739, and Mikunasi 105.865. So kita nampak daripada posisi kelima, Saiful Arifin sampai ke bawah Azlan sekali itu, semua 106. Memang dekat ya.
Ya, betul. Dan antara alien yang kita ada, Muhammad Ibrahim ni aku pun tak tahu pasal apalah dia ni laju sangat tapi dia sebenarnya tercedok di round yang ketiga tadi, dia tercedok sekejap, dan mungkin kita akan melihat kebangkitannya di round yang keempat pada malam ini.
Itu yang pasti. So we'll see. Ibrahim had a bad round in round 3, being involved in a couple of incidents there, but we're very confident he is one of the fastest sim racers in Asia right now. So will be interesting to see if he can take the fight up to the front runners there, especially with Miko and Ilham Halabi as well. Miko Nasi, our championship leader, in 3rd place, Ilham Halabi in 4th, and Saiful Arifin again just bringing up that rear in 5th place. Interesting to see here, Dominic is down in 14th position there. Perhaps he's just focusing on his long runs. You don't try not to read too much into the practice times, because they might be practicing different strategies as well, and they might not be doing their full qualifying runs. But in a few moments' time, in a few minutes' time, we will see those guys push those cars as hard as possible. Jadi kita boleh kirakan fan favourite Freddie Ang in URT Pink. Dude, that was a big impact, Mungkin tak ternampak tadi kat situ. Do excuse Injet Bob, he just has to go and sort something out real quick there for a second. He will be back very, very shortly. But Aaron Lim right now, we're watching through the corners there. The top 20 cars, 20 cars from 5th all the way down to 25th are within 1 second of each other. And in fact, the entire grid is now being covered by about 1.3 seconds. So a very, very close racing. Perhaps only really rivaled by the V8 Supercars Championship in how close everyone is right now. It's going to be very interesting to see how these drivers who are very close to each other race on such a tight, narrow, twisty circuit. I sense we might have quite a bit of drama in this race. But I've been proven wrong before. The beautiful, clean racing of the AM race being a prime example of me eating my own words there. So who knows? We might see. It could go one of two ways. It could be a very, very dramatic action-packed race, or it could be one of those races there where precision, timing, and racecraft are key. It's all down to these guys right now. We'll be into qualifying very, very shortly. But for now, we have a few comments down there. Lloyd Lachlan, hello Maxi, you have such a nice voice. Oh yeah. You gotta have a little bit of fun sometimes in this job, and it's nice to have all of you guys in the comment section down below. You can actually chat with the drivers, so if you have a question for the drivers, do leave them in the comment section down below. We can see there Adrian having a chat about that fantastic battle he had with Lloyd Lachlan. Lloyd definitely not giving Adrian any daylight between the two cars there. Thanks to Faris, Shakir and Surin Savaraju for the like and the follow irrespectively. And as you can see there, the weather conditions are quite cool right now at Oulton Park Circuit. We're running the Foster's layout, which is the typical BTCC championship. wrong touring car championship, but you get the point. It's the BTCC layout, so it's a layout designed for maximum excitement for the fans. So it'd be very interesting to see there. So Surya Savaraju there saying, hello Max. And Jagjavan saying, Encik Saleh, Lloyd has a new joke. Ooh, frightening.
Lloyd has a new joke.
Ooh.
Joke apa? The joke apa? Kalau boleh kita share sikit. Tapi ini antara joke sesama sim racer lah
Yeah, boleh kirakan in jokes and out jokes and all the wonderful stuff. It's a very close-knit community. Kita memang ada banyak kawan yang dalam community ni. Kita memang boleh kirakan community yang ketat, yang amat bagus sekali. So before we continue on with the qualifying, as we ride on board with Kelvinder Singh, a quick shout out to our sponsors, XOX Mobile, 1XOX, XOX eSIM, Estremo Oil of Italy, and our media partner, Galeri Kereta. Do check out some of the XOX Mobile and 1XOX products there. They've got burn-proof plans, and they also have the ability to carry and share data, minutes, and text around. So kalau misalnya Encik Bob ada data lebih kurang 5-6 gig, tapi bulan nak habis tu kan, dengan XOX tak payah risau, dia burn proof, so boleh simpan saja, dia boleh tarik ke minggu depan. Lepas tu lagi satu dia, kalau kamu kurang SMS, saya kurang data, kita boleh share data, share text dengan share minit.
Betul tu.
So kalau ada kurangan
itulah kami juga mengucapkan terima kasih kepada penaja kita XOX kerana setiap minggu ada bagi kita SIM card yang power, SIM card percuma untuk pemenang-pemenang. Bukan itu saja, tiap-tiap minggu bagi lagi telefon. So kami mengharapkan akan ada lebih banyak lagi event macam ni. Sahabat Faizal Alang, Bob bila nak sunat lain telefon tu, alamak.
on the way. Dia order daripada China tu yang lambat.
Ya, betul. Dia bukan apa, MCO aku kat Kuala Kangsar, kawan tu kat Ipoh. Macam aku memang sekarang ni aku nak potong lain lama masuk ke XOX. Faizal Alam merupakan salah seorang kita punya ejen XOX yang berada di Perak. So mana-mana yang ingin mendapatkan nombor line ataupun menggunakan nombor yang lama, tukar kepada XOX untuk kawasan Ipoh dan juga Perak, anda boleh berhubung dengan Faizal Alang, salah satu ejen XOX yang berada di Perak sekarang ini. Faizal Alang malam semalam.
Ya, itu dia Faizal Alang, one of the best rally drivers, a precision stunt driver, drifter, circuit racer, and also an agent for the XOX Mobile and 1XOX brand. So do contact him if you're in the Ipoh area for any XOX deals. But very, very interesting stuff there. Roy Charles ada tanya, Abang Bob sihat ke?
Sihat Abang Roy. Tadi Abang Roy kita dapat saksikan dia bertanding dalam kelas amatur, dan kali ni kami saksikan terhujan pula di dalam kelas pro kelas pada kali ini.
Ya, dan
okey, apa satu lagi title lah, benda tu title apa tu?
Agent XOX. Tang. Secret agent, tapi bukan secret lah, kita semua dah tahu.
Okay, kita berada dalam sesi qualifying minit yang keempat. Kita ada beraki banyak lagi masa, dan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kami bawakan yang terhebat, yang terpadu, yang terlaju khas untuk anda. Antaranya kita sedia maklum Muhammad Ibrahim adalah antara salah satu talent muda dekat Malaysia yang power di dalam. Selain daripada sim racing, beliau juga antara pelumba karting Matt
Ya, dia antara pelumba karting dan pelumba di TCT masa dia buat oval race tu, yang Encik Bob pun jadi pengulas pada masa tu.
Okey, kita juga ada Tengku Jan pada malam ni. Ini dia, Tengku Jan berada di kedudukan yang kelima sekarang ini. Tengku Jan merupakan antara ikon sukan bermotor yang sangat dikenali di Malaysia. Kita juga ada Tengku Izan, adik kepada Tengku Jan, juga atlet motorsport di Malaysia. Siapa lagi?
Kita ada beberapa lagi yang belum keluar lagi, yang saya nampak macam Hafiz, antara Wira MSF yang selalu boleh dikirakan antara personality yang paling terkenal kot dalam MSF.
Dia dulu saya kenal dia sebagai salah seorang abang KK. Itu idola kancil. Tapi sekarang masih lagi idola di Litar.
Sekarang dia dah up CC sikit, boleh pergi lagi laju.
Honda sekarang.
Itulah dia dah H.
Ya, tapi My Chill pun dia terpaksa masuk dalam pro class. Dia kalau kita letakkan kepada kelas amatur macam tak kena je. So kita letakkan dia dekat pro class pada kali ini. Okey, kita juga ada abang pilot kita. Kita ada abang Syamir. Sama Aizan.
So itu dia Syamir Aizan pada masa sekarang. Belum lagi masukkan dalam track. So Syamir Aizan isn't quite out there. We saw My Chill Hafiz, a real life MSF driver. There it is. Baru dia dapat Syamir Aizan. Dia sekarang on the way nak to complete a lap as well. But like Bob was saying, Tuku Ezan is on board, Dominic Ang on board as well. Freddie Ang, Iman Danish is, like you say, one of the youngest drivers out there, 14 years of age, now in the top 10. Miko Nasi, another real life racing driver, and of course, who can forget the Prince of Drift, Tuku Jan. Memang ada star-studded. Banyak idola juga.
Idola. Dia ini kerana tahu.
Terlupa pula. Ada Dakip Aslan, itu lagi satu. Hampir.
Tapi kalau anda perasan Matt, dengan adanya kita ikon-ikon ni, sebenarnya viewers kita makin lama makin ramai tau. Sebab banyak nama-nama besar yang turut sama berlumba dengan sim racer kita yang dah sedia ada.
Itu dia. Dan okay, you broke me there, Lloyd. I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows too high. She seemed surprised. Okay, that's a good one. Dia cakap dia punya GF tu, dia lukis yang eyebrow tu terlalu tinggi. Nampak macam terkejut. Anyway, the qualifying session right now. Ilham Halabi sekarang berada di tempat yang pertama. So Ilham Halabi in first place, Muhammad Ibrahim in second place, and Miko Nasi in third. The three drivers that have been fighting for race wins all throughout the season. It looks like this trend is going to continue throughout the race. But look at Iman Danish in fourth place, really fighting right up there. Saiful Arifin up into fifth. Tuku Jan doing quite well to get himself up into sixth place. Chok Fung Pang into seventh. Ruben Wong into eighth. And Chamit Azan into ninth. Freddie Ang 10th.
Ya, itu dia tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Malam ni Tengku Jan turut serta bersama kita. Ini adalah perlumbaan kedua yang mana Tengku Jan beraksi di XOX Esports Challenge round yang keempat pada malam ini. Tapi macam minggu lepas kita tengok Tengku Izan lebih pantas daripada Tengku Jan, tapi nampak gayanya malam ni aku nampak macam Tengku Jan lebih pantas daripada Tengku Izan. Tapi apapun kita akan sama-sama saksikan di dalam kelas pro sebentar lagi.
Kita boleh kira markah dia 1-0. So sekarang mungkin dia akan jadi 1-1 seri.
No chance bunga mahal lah nowadays. Bos by fellas kena bonda rumah today.
Sebab macam minta dia apa mandi bunga.
Syahmi Azri slipstream dekat track ni agak kuat. Maksudnya apa tu Matt? Slipstream.
So bila kereta kat depan tu dia tengah boleh kira buat lubang dalam angin. So dia boleh cucuk. So kereta kat belakang tu boleh cucuk angin kereta yang ke depan.
Okay, itu dia slipstream
Ya, ini adalah antara satu teknik yang agak penting dalam MX5. Especially dalam season ni. In this season, we've been seeing this a lot. Like you say, Faizal Alang, that slipstream, cucuk angin. Dia lagi kenal tu. Itulah Faizal Alang.
Ya, dalam saya dia
Saintis sekali. Boleh tambah lagi satu title, saintis. Syami Azri
dan
brings up.
beliau je MCO aku tengok dah start jadi sim racer sekarang ni since MCO.
Ya, sebenarnya antara sebab yang Faizal Alang tak dapat masuk pada kali ini sebab kekurangan masa. Kalau tak, dia memang sebenarnya nak masuk, tetapi tak jadi last minute. So mana tahu untuk season kedua nanti kita boleh menjemputi dia balik kepada dunia alam maya ni.
Ya. Azril Nasir alias asalkan jangan tertinggal, gunalah teknik cucuk angin. Teknik juga, betul? Setuju? Sokong?
Yeah. So what Syami Azri was talking about, the slipstream effect at this track is quite strong. As it turns out, a lot of the drivers, they're commenting that to stay with the pack at the start of the race, you're going to really have to follow the cars quite closely. But of course, a very twisty track, very difficult braking zones, so it can lead to some very interesting situations coming to those braking zones.
Oh, tapi rupanya ada efek juga kalau kau terlalu lama sangat tailgate orang tu, nanti engine boleh overheat dalam segi endurance lah.
Yeah. So itu pun betul, Azril Nazli to comment to. So like Bob was saying there, one of the downsides of slipstreaming another car is that your engine temperatures begin to rise, so you lose the endurance factor of the car. The car begins to overheat and it starts to adversely affect the performance of the vehicle as well. So you can't slipstream for too long, otherwise the car might fail on you. So itu dia. So pada masa sekarang nampaknya macam top 10 boleh dikirakan terkunci. Tak ada siapa-siapa lagi yang nak keluar. Mungkin pada minit ke-13 ataupun ke-14 yang last minute mungkin ada 1-2 yang akan cuba keluar balik. Tapi nampak dia seperti Ilham, Ibrahim dan Miko seperti biasa di tempat pertama, kedua, ketiga. Tapi Saiful yang biasa ni di tempat yang keempat dalam qualifying telah diatasi dengan Iman Danish.
Macam atas-atas tu memang orang-orang yang biasa mendominasi perlumbaan lah. Okey, yang mana baru menyaksikan live stream ini, ini merupakan perlumbaan untuk kelas pro pula. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada media partner kita, Galeri Kereta, penaja kita, XOX, One XOX, eSIM dan juga Extremo. Dan juga terima kasih kerana membawakan live streaming ini kepada kami semua di Malaysia.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot to all our sponsors, XOX Mobile, One XOX, XOX eSIM and Extremo Oil. Dan jangan lupa Galeri Kereta, media partner kita pada kali ini, memang banyak menolong kami. So harap kita boleh pergi sokong diorang pada masa yang susah ini. Okey
tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sama macam tadi, jangan lepaskan peluang. Tengok dan juga tengok. Manalah tahu selain daripada perlumba, anda juga boleh memenangi hadiah daripada pihak penaja. Kami tawarkan hadiah cukup lumayan setiap minggu. Macam malam ni masih lagi ada telefon, masih lagi ada gaming headset dan juga masih lagi ada SIM card untuk anda. So pastikan anda bersiaran bersama kami daripada awal sampai habis nanti.
Ya, nanti boleh dapat peluang untuk menang. So you will get that chance to win that Oppo phone, that SteelSeries gaming headset, and all those fantastic package deals from One XOX with their SIM cards there. So watch us from start to finish. At the end of the stream, we will have ZR on to announce the winners. They are sitting there watching the races in the studios right now. The whole gang there, definitely on the edge of their seats, seeing who is going to win this race.
Okey, Nazmi Mazli sekarang ini di dalam sesi qualifying. Nazmi Mazli jentera bernombor 300.
Ya, itu dia. Nazmi pun
1.06. Tapi timing dia semua rapat 105, 106 semua rapat. Ini dia betapa orang kata betapa sengit dia di dalam kategori pro class ini.
Yeah, perfection is demanded from all these drivers here. Let's go on board with Ilham Halabi. You can see that he uses every single inch of the track in through this opening sector down into this braking zone here. The car is perfectly straight throughout the entire braking point. He uses just enough curb to make sure he gets around that corner quick. Now going through this right-hander, again, it's flat out here, but he just takes a little bit of that curb and runs the car all the way to the edge, really maximizing every single inch of the track. You know, the old adage of he's paid his entry fee, he's going to use every single inch of the track. That's how you have to drive these cars. Now he's very quick going through there, very little braking. He's definitely got the car dialed in now, and he's using, again, very, very smooth inputs throughout the corner and using every single inch of the track there. That's the difference between the pros and the AMs in this series. Look at that. The car looks so effortless. It looks so simple, but trust me, it's very hard to get to this level of skill where you can make it look easy. And that was what got Ilham Halabi that fantastic lap time. Boleh tengok, dia memang maximize track tu. Dia akan pakai semua track sekali, daripada hujung ke hujung, tepi ke tepi. Memang interesting jugalah kita tengok.
Kau ada tanya tak, Max? Adakah setiap pelumba-pelumba ni diorang berkongsi rahsia ataupun setup masing-masing? Ke masing-masing diam je?
Ada yang jenis diam, tapi ada juga jenis yang suka tolong-menolong, seperti Ilham, Saiful, dan beberapa lagi, Tujan, Pang dan Izan juga banyak menolongi komuniti. Dalam komuniti ni memang ada banyak yang boleh dikirakan saling tolong-menolong.
Ya.
So memang ada boleh, kalau dalam bahasa Inggeris kita cakap cross pollination. Banyak orang share idea untuk setup, untuk cuba dapatkan setup yang paling bagus lah.
Ya, dan aku jangkakan perlumbaan pada malam ini untuk kelas pro akan menjadi sangat-sangat menarik. Dapat kita saksikan kan Tekujan di kedudukan ke-6, Iman Danish kedudukan ke-4, Saiful tempat ke-5. So kali ini agak berubah, tak sama macam kedudukan round yang ketiga tempoh hari. Ini round yang ke-4 lain sikit.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll go and look at the grid for now. Ilham Halabi in first place, Ibrahim is in second. So it's Toda Racing versus Full Focus Racing yet again at the front of the field. Miko Nasi holds down third place for Full Focus Racing, with Iman Danish for Toda Motorsports, the sister team to Toda Racing. They're in fourth place. The youngster is just ahead of Saiful Arifin with Tugujan Le, the wildcard driver for Tedco Racing, in sixth place, with Chok Fan Pang in seventh, Ruben Wong in ninth, Ruben Wong in eighth, Shami Aizan in ninth, and Freddie Ang in 10th place. Almost forgot how to count there.
XOX Esports Challenge Pro Class akan bermula bila-bila masa. Pada sekarang, tuan-tuan dan puan, kami dah bawakan yang terhebat, yang terpadu, yang terlaju hanya untuk anda. So jangan lupa saksikan kami setiap hari Ahad pada pukul 8 malam. Okey, perlumbaan akan bermula bila-bila masa daripada sekarang.
And we are off. Ilham Halabi has a bad start there, and it looks like the two Full Focus Racing cars managed to get around him. He is being swamped into the middle of the field there. That was a really bad start there, and there's contact up ahead. This is going to be a huge crash there, and there's one car, two car, three cars off there, all cars going all different directions. That was the dreaded first corner incident. It looks like all the cars managed to keep their cool and keep themselves going. But that was a really dramatic start there. We came in just a little bit late, but that's okay for now. Really dramatic stuff up there. Ibrahim still managing to be in first place. Miko Nasi managing to skive his way up into second place. And it looks like the race director decided to throw the yellow flag. So yellow flag is out. The safety car will come out as well. And it looks like, wow, what a start. Quite a few cars that came off on the first corner there.
Weh, menarik. Kali ni lain daripada lain. Tekujan berada di tempat ketiga, akan cuba berentap mengejar Miko Nasi dan juga Muhammad Ibrahim di hadapan beliau. Okey, kita saksikan replay apa yang telah pun berlangsung ataupun telah pun berlaku sebentar tadi.
Ya, kita akan.
Ini ada permulaan. Okey, ini dia apa yang sebenarnya telah berlaku.
So theory saya, just a theory, I think, because Ilham Halabi was so slow off the line, he missed his start quite a bit. That bunched up the field quite a bit there. And when Iman Danish had that contact with the Full Focus Racing driver, it caused a domino effect. All the cars began to clump up in the middle of the field there. Meanwhile, Iman coming onto the inside there, just got a little bit too much of a squeeze from the Full Focus car. He gets his car sideways, and now he ends up in the middle of the track. Bang! The first impact, and that caused everyone to really bunch up and begin the whole incident begin the whole train wreck that is the usual first corner impact. So kita boleh nampakkan dia berpunca daripada bukan saja daripada Iman Danish tetapi daripada Ilham Labi yang perlahan untuk start. Mungkin dia nak start ataupun itu yang dia group 4-5 biji kereta sebelah-sebelah tu. So Ilham missed start. He was on pole position but he just wasn't quite going, and his teammate had to go on the grass. Saiful Arifin terpaksa masuk dekat rumput dia untuk cuba selamatkan. Tapi boleh dikirakan car control memang, kawalan kereta tu memang top notch lah. Kalau boleh bawa dekat rumput dengan kelajuan jam tu dan still boleh control kereta.
Dia tak ada berpusing dia still boleh cover lagi
Ya. Itulah sebab yang diorang berlumba di sana dan saya tengah berkomentari di sini.
Okey, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, komentator kita Matthew Palmer sebenarnya juga salah seorang pelumba simulator ataupun siri perlumbaan ni, tapi nampak gayanya jauh dibandingkan dengan saya. So
biasalah.
Dia tak dapat berlumba. Dia kena duduk dengan anda dan saya.
Ya. Boleh kirakan saya dalam kategori.
Okey, safety car dah masuk.
Belum lagi. Last lap. So safety car agak cepat sebenarnya pada kali ni. So safety car akan lap pendek dan hanya 2 lap saja. So everyone is in position there quite quickly. Safety car only out for a short period of time. They're just 2 laps, which should mean we'll get this race going very, very shortly. But as Encik Bob hinted out there, yes, I do quite a bit of sim racing in Assetto Corsa mainly, but also in iRacing and AMS2. I tend to prefer the open wheeler and the sports cars a little bit more, the sort of the sports prototype cars a little bit more than these MX-5 cars. But these cars can be quite fun in the right conditions.
Okey, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, di dalam siri perlumbaan ini semua genre diberikan satu kereta yang sama, iaitu model MS5 sahaja. Okey, masih lagi bendera kuning masih lagi dikibarkan.
Okay, kita ada masa sikit untuk tengok the top 10 positions right now. Just to run through the results before we start yet again. Ibrahim in first place with Miko Nasi in second. Tuku Jan Lei is in third position, really getting a good start off the grid there. Ruben Wong in fourth, also a fairly good start on the field there. Ilham Labi in fifth, he had a bad start, really caused that bunch up into turn one. Shami Aizan in sixth place with Saiful in seventh, Dominic in eighth, Freddy in ninth, and Afif aka Taichi Yagami in 10th place.
Taichi Yagami pun antara alien yang pernah aku saksikan. Memang antara yang paling berbakat dekat Malaysia sekarang ni.
Yeah.
Menariknya
So we're going to go green right now. The lights are on, they'll be off, and we're away again. Ibrahim and Miko are going to go side by side going down into turn one. Then Tuku Jan Lei really fighting for the lead of the race here. It could be both cars going off the track there, but they managed to keep their positions, and it looks like it's going to be Ibrahim from Miko with Tuku Jan just slotting in third place. It's a much cleaner start this time around with the cars going single file down through the Cascades section. Just a little bit more organized this second time around, but now we're going to go diving through that flat out right-hander, and it looks like the race is beginning to settle into a nice bit of rhythm. There's still some side-by-side action at the back there, but Ibrahim up in first.
Itu dia, nampak gayanya kombinasi di antara dua pelumba, Ibrahim dan juga Miko di dalam satu pasukan yang sama, berada di dua kedudukan yang di hadapan sekarang ini. Manakala Tuku Jan cuba mengejar Miko Nasi di kedudukan yang kedua. Satu persembahan dan juga satu perlumbaan yang sangat menarik dapat kita saksikan. Tuku Jan berada di kedudukan ketiga sekarang ini, top 3 di dalam perlumbaan dan juga pro class yang sekarang ini.
Ya, itu dia. Nampak ni macam Ilham Labi di tempat yang kelima, tetapi ada juga peluang untuk cuba membentuki Ruben Wong. So usually the top URT red driver will be Dominic, but it looks like Ruben Wong definitely has the hang of the MX-5s around this track there. You can see Dominic further behind there, but he is under a lot of pressure from Ilham Labi. Now Ilham has a very special technique for trying to get past people. He generally doesn't go for an overtake maneuver immediately. He tries to follow and stalk the car behind and really try to intimidate him, really try and put the pressure on and try and capitalize on the mistakes. Is sort of like the sim racing version of the Intimidator Dale Earnhardt in the way he races, except without, or he tries to race without contact as much as possible. But just that thought of Ilham Hlabi filling up all three mirrors as you're going through the lap there must really put a lot of pressure on you. But meanwhile, Dominic Ang, he's third in the championship. He's a little bit further behind. But if he can get past Saiful Arifin, who's right up ahead, he could try and climb his way up the field and really work on it. It looks like Ilham's gone down a place as well. It's 6th and 7th place for Ilham and Saiful Arifin. Now, did Ilham drop back to try and help his teammate? I wonder.
Ya, dia aku tampak dia dah jadi macam pusingan pertama dan juga pusingan kedua, yang mana sekiranya ada satu pasukan tu, ialah satu pasukan ada dua kereta, mungkin kita boleh gunakan taktik berpasukan. Pasukan yang belakang boleh menolong kawan dia. Kita tak kata blok laluan, tapi orang kata macam mana, mungkin ada strategi perpasukan. Kita tengok macam mana
dia punya defense strategi itulah. Ya. Bagi protection. Yeah, that's a good point that Encik Bob brought up there. It could be that Saiful and Ilham are trying to work as a team in order to try and get through the situation they're in right now. Ibrahim and Miko definitely working as a team up at the front of the field there. So Ilham and Saiful. Remember, Toda Racing and Full Focus Racing, both teams that are fighting for the championship. So they're going to have to really think tactically and strategically as to how to maximize the points now. But from where we're standing right now, it looks like Full Focus Racing has control of the race.
Full Focus Racing berada di kedudukan pertama dan juga kedudukan kedua. Oh, sideway! Oh, dah terkeluar situ. Dah pakai Tengku Jan terkeluar sikit daripada litar dan jatuh ke 6 anak tangga. Dia aku nampak macam dia teroverdrift lah kat situ.
Yeah, so we know we call them wild card drivers, but we didn't expect them to be that wild. That was actually a very impressive bit of car control there. Tengku Jan got the car on the grass a little bit on the side of the track there, and that got the car sideways quite a lot, but you can see the drifting technique coming into play there to try and get the car well held there from Tengku Jan, managing to get the car collected back up again. He is now in 7th position. He's let Dominic pass and it'll be very interesting to see how he plans to try and catch back up again, because he was definitely harassing the Full Focus Racing guys quite a bit there, but just that one mistake, mungkin dia terciduk dekat rumput ke ataupun apa.
Tapi kereta tu walaupun dia terkeluar daripada litar, dia atas rumput, tapi dia masih boleh mengawal jentera tu lagi. Tengok macam ni sekarang kan, bukan senang tu bila kau dah ada atas rumput, kau nak handle balik kereta tu bukan senang boy.
Whoa, Afif there, just trying to hit the brakes there. He was trying to keep that car in a straight line in order to try and save it, but it looks like Afif is out of the race. We have our first retirement there. That'll be a very interesting thing to have a replay on, because he got the car onto the grass, as Inche Bob was saying, and just trying to control the car again. If you hit the brakes too hard when you're on the grass, you definitely get into a situation where there is a chance of spinning the car out. So he was trying to keep that car in a straight line, but it just ran out of Oulton Park.
Kau tengok. Bila dah terbabas, bila kau naik atas rumput, bukan senang baik kau nak control lah.
Nampak ada kontak sikit dengan kereta URT Pink tadi tu.
Ya. And bang. Oh, tak ada kasih can bye. Mama Afif, Taichi Yagami.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. A very quick driver there, unfortunately unable to carry on with the race, at least not with that particular vehicle. But still, plenty of chances for Taichi to show his skill in the last two races of the season, I am sure. But for now, tough luck there for Taichi. Just in a really bad spot there with the contact and the run on the grass there. He tried his level best to try and keep that car in a straight line, but didn't quite work. Meanwhile, Saiful Arifin there in 5th place, tried to chase down Shami Aizan, in fourth. Let's see if Saiful is able to get joined back up with his teammate Ilham Labi, who's in third position right now. So Syamil Aizan is the sort of fly in the ointment between a battle between Todak Racing and Full Focus Racing right now at the start of the field. It's just like in round one, except we have an interloper here, and trust me, you and me, Syamil Aizan is not going to make it easy for Saiful Arifin to get past.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, perebutan tempat keempat sekarang ni yang mana Saiful Arifin cuba mengejar Syamil Aizan di kedudukan keempat, manakala Dominic Eng mengejar Saiful Arifin daripada pasukan Todak Racing sekarang ni. Bukan senang kita sekarang sedang berlumba di dalam satu litar yang sangat legend, yang sangat digemari ramai, dan kini kedudukan Saiful Arifin masih lagi di tempat kelima di monitor sekarang ini.
Yeah, so untuk Saiful untuk cuba mengekalkan posisi Todak Racing di hadapan tu, Saiful Arifin memang perlu potong Syamil Aizan, tetapi dengan Ilham Labi di hadapan, mungkin dia ada bermasalah sikit dengan cara pemikiran dia. Adakah dia akan cuba kejar kereta yang ke depan, ataupun adakah dia akan cuba slowkan Syamil Aizan untuk bagi Saiful memotong?
Okey, sekarang ni Syamil Aizan diapit oleh pasukan Todak Racing dan dia harus memintas Ilham Halabi yang berada di hadapan beliau untuk orang kata menyenangkan lagi cabaran yang sedang dihadapi beliau sekarang ini. Hyperbull Tyrus diapit oleh Todak Racing sekarang ini.
Yeah, and if Syamil Aizan can pull this off in fourth or even third place, that will be a huge boost to Hyperbulls Taurus and their chances in the championship. They really do need a good result. Perhaps a podium will really set their campaign off and really put a bow on their efforts. A big organisation coming into this championship, along with Rapro Drag and of course Todak and URT as well, with multiple teams entered. These guys have been trying and practicing and doing all they can to try and get better. It'd be very nice to see if they can get up into third place. We wish them luck, but it's going to be very hard.
Okey, sementara itu Nakib Azlan daripada tim URT berada di kedudukan ke-13 sekarang ini. Diikuti rapat oleh Iman Danish daripada Todak Motorsport.
Dua-dua pemandu yang boleh dikirakan berkaitan dengan MSF. So these two drivers have dengan real world motorsports as well.
Yeah.
But as you can see there, Iman Danish coming on the inside of Nakib. Was that a little bit of contact? We're not too sure. We couldn't see it. But Nakib having a real hard time trying to keep the car in one straight line. But that was an amazing bit of car control there from Nakib Azhar there. But Iman Danish managed to get himself up into 13th place. But I'm sure that would stir just a little bit of controversy, I would think, because I saw a little bit of contact there. But we'll see. We'll have the I'm sure the stewards will be looking through all the footage of the race after this.
Nakib masuk balik, bhai. Nakib masuk balik. Walaupun tadi terbabas, terkeluar sikit daripada litar, beliau berjaya mengawal jentera dia dan kini berada di kedudukan ke-16. Jatuh dua anak tangga daripada kedudukannya sebelum ini. Nakib Azlan, jentera bernombor 23 sebentar tadi.
Ya, sekarang Jazwin Jali sekarang berada di belakang Aaron Lim. So JJ aka Jazwin really getting close up to the back of Aaron Lim there, pushing that car as hard as he can. A very accomplished GT3 driver there. Trying, Saiful Arifin's into the pits. Apa terjadi dengan Saiful Arifin yang berada di tempat yang kelima sebelum ni?
Okey, tengok je replay.
So kita akan meninjau sikit ni. Cuba kita dengar kalau ada apa-apa masalah. Let's just have a look and listen to see if there's any problems with the cars there as you're going through these final two corners there. It looks like Saiful Arifin trying to get that overtaking down on the Hyperbulls car, coming up towards the inside there, very close to the back of the car there, and it looks like did he misshift?
Okey, dan folks, kepada Todak Racing.
Car definitely felt a little bit off there. Mungkin ada terdengar sesuatu kat situ yang mungkin menandakan ada mechanical issue. So very bad luck there for our next retirement, it appears. to be Saiful Arifin.
Okey, kita bersama dengan Tuku Izan Lee daripada URT Pink sekarang ni cuba mengejar Dominic Ng di tempat yang ketujuh. Ini dia tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, Tuku Izan Lee, jentera bernombor 10 daripada Malaysia, perebutan tempat ketujuh.
Ya, itu dia. And you could definitely say that this has been the fan favorite livery for all of you guys. I've seen a lot of the guys talk about this car's livery. The Hello Kitty livery, I think, wins the Paint Job of the Season award. Should we have one?
Comel je.
Boleh dikirakan paint scheme yang agak popular dah. Dia memang dapat banyak orang yang komen pasal paint scheme ni.
Dan yang menariknya, tim URT dia pun sama macam Todak, dia ada beberapa pecahan, Matt. Kita ada URT Pink, kita ada URT Red.
Yeah.
Satu lagi URT
URT Blue dengan URT Green yang berada di dalam M, kalau tak silap. Dengan James Russell. Ya, Blue, Pink dengan Red berada di dalam Pro dan Green berada di dalam M.
Sama macam Todak Racing. Yang mana Todak Racing juga ada beberapa pecahan pasukan.
Itu dia. Dan juga pasukan Hyperbulls yang boleh dikirakan berfranchise. Dan ada pecahan dia sekali. So a lot of these teams are sort of under one umbrella organisation. So the URT guys have the URT Pink, the URT Red, and the URT Blue cars. Oh, Ayman Zubair is off the track. Let's have a look. There's another car involved in there. That was a blue car as well. Let's have a look at them. Speaking of URT Blue coming. So it looks like it's Nakib that's up ahead. Ayman Zubair there. Ayman trying to go for that overtaking maneuver. Just a little bit rough on the exit there. But trying to go in for the overtaking maneuver there. And that was a bad impact.
Ini dah 2 kali tercedok ni.
I'm sure there'll be some discussions after the race for that one. That's all I'm going to say about that particular incident. But very, very weird impact there. Agak pelik juga ya insiden itu.
Okey, sementara itu Full Focus Racing masih lagi mendominasi kelompok hadapan, yang mana mereka selesa berada di kedudukan pertama dan juga kedudukan kedua.
Yep. Ibrahim there up in first place, half a second ahead of Miku Nasi. They look like they have this race running quite comfortably indeed. Ilham Hlami is in third place with Samit Aizan in fourth, and Freddie Ang now moving up into fifth, and Teguh Jan slowly going up into sixth place, which is a remarkable result considering he almost had the same incident that Afif had coming down the Cascades, but he managed to get the car under control and working again. So this was Nakib's teammate, Jay Chong in 10th place, right hot on the heels on the back of Pang there. So Chong, Pang, Ezan and Dominic are all URT drivers, and Teguh Jan racing for Tedco Racing, which are affiliated with URT as well. So they're doing quite well for themselves in this particular race, with the majority of the top 10 being URT drivers. So dia boleh conquer juga top 10 ni sekarang. Nampak macam URT private practice ni. Okay, so kita ada berita sikit daripada Saiful Arifin yang ada masalah VR rupanya. So,
tapi Mak kata Jai kata tengok apa, orang yang ada monitor 3 je. Dia kata tak ada isu lah tu. Orang yang pakai normal monitor versus orang yang pakai VR tu.
So kita ada boleh kirakan discussion. We have a bit of a discussion going on as to what is best, 3 monitors or VR, and it looks like it's another against tick for the VR boys there. So what happened with Saiful Arifin is that his VR system failed. It blacked out on him, so he could not see anything, which is why he slowed the car down and tried to keep the car to the right as much as possible and tried to basically feel his way to the pits. So it was a very, very frightening stuff indeed. Imagine having to shut your eyes at high speed, and that's the effect that he had there. So unfortunately he had to pull out of the race. It remains to be seen if he'll be able to get back into the race just to do a couple more laps to try and qualify as a finisher, but for now it looks like Saiful Arifin is out.
Okey, kedudukan sekarang ni Tengku Izandi. Sekarang kita bersama dengan Tengku Izandi yang mana beliau masih lagi cuba mengejar Dominic Ng di kedudukan ke-7. Dan juga diikut rapat oleh Pang di kedudukan ke-9. Ini dia Tengku Izandi dengan livery dekel yang sangat comel, Hello Kitty berwarna pink juga daripada pasukan URT Pink.
Ya, itu dia Tengku Ezan dengan dia boleh dikirakan salah satu karakter yang paling menarik dan colourful. So Tengku Ezan, yeah. So Tengku Ezadli, one of the most colourful characters in the sim racing world there. Mr. 10 himself coming down the Cascades in that URT pink car. Trust Tengku Ezan to bring the wildest colour schemes and bring all the fun and excitement into sim racing. It really embodies the old school sim racer, that have-a-go hero going out on the weekends and really trying to push the car along as fast as he can. Absolutely. The director just said he's never seen so many URT cars in a row. I do believe we have on our hands right now a URT train. Itu dia. Yep. 7 cars. If you count Tengku Janle, who is part of the URT organization, running under the Tedco Racing colors, as a wildcard driver. If you count all of those cars, there's 6 URT cars in a row. So they're going to be very happy if they could keep these cars going. And it looks like they're shuffling positions there, really putting on a show. Nice double overtake going around the outside of Cascades. Why not? And these guys are great fun to watch, especially when they're doing their private practice stuff. I've been lucky enough to see a little bit of it over the course of the last year and a half or so. But very interesting stuff. I'm thinking that URT is going to really come away quite happy with the results they had. Of course, Dominic is being shuffled. Now, the interesting part about being in a long line of cars is that you can shuffle the cars around so that you can put your best foot forward. And what they've done there is, while they're giving us a nice, beautiful little display of cars chopping and changing positions, Dominic Ang has moved from the back to the front of this train. He's now in a position to try and chase after Xavier Aizan. So still points on offer for Dominic Ang if he can get these guys moving forwards.
Okay, aku ada baca satu komen ni daripada Lloyd Lockton. Can someone run into someone else please? Surin is available.
So there's been a long-running joke that the reason why they're teammates was that Surin Selvaraju was scared of Lloyd Loughlin running up the back of him. A long story that perhaps will be told in a book 20 years from now, perhaps. But since then, they've been going on in the comment section below, and we've had Jagjivan, who's a friend of the rallying community here in Malaysia and a good friend of ours in sim racing as well, joining in on the fun. But it looks like the URT train is headed towards we are on the final lap 21, so just a couple of laps short of the AM race there. Ibrahim crosses the line in first place with Miko Nasi in second and Ilham Hlabi in third. So congratulations to those guys, Ibrahim, Miko and Ilham first, second and third. Shami Aizan manages to hold on to that fourth place, but then look at all of these guys coming across the line there. They would be happy with that position. Taking over the half of the top 10 position, all the Tedco cars there. Dominic, Ezan, Freddy, Jan, Pang and Chong, with Azlan in 11th, Faiz in 12th, and Kelvinder Singh finally getting the demons behind him, actually finishing a race properly there in 13th position. Glad to see him out there. Imad Danesh wouldn't be too happy with his performance down in 16th. We know he had the pace, but perhaps his time will come. Who knows? He might have the same sort of fight back story that Ibrahim had this time around. Absolutely spectacular stuff there. And Ruben Wong comes home in 21st place. Had a few issues there. He was running up at the front of the field, not too sure what happened there. And Azam Azni gives him a helpful little push along. So agak menarik, agak interesting juga race pada kali ni. Walaupun ada juga exciting, tapi ada juga part yang boleh dikirakan macam 4D chess.
Aku sangat berpuas hati untuk pro class kali ni. Aku sangat berpuas hati. Amateur class ni aku tak dapat masuk orang sebab aku sendiri ada masalah teknikal. Tapi untuk pro class ni sangat-sangat menarik persembahan yang diberikan oleh semua pelumba kita. Tahniah kepada semua pemenang.
Yeah, itu dia. So another quick rundown the results there. Ibrahim is first for Full Focus Racing, taking out a 1-2 for the team. Ibrahim in first, Bikonasi in second place for Full Focus Racing as well. Ilham Labi is in third place with Tolat Racing. They were trying to get into that position to have a team battle, but didn't quite get into position in time. Shabi Azan is in fourth place, a good points haul for Hyperbulls Taurus, really going to help him out a lot. Dominic Ang is in fifth, leading all the URT drivers. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are all URT drivers. Tuku Janle, a URT affiliated driver, is our wild card for this evening, driving the URT Tedco racing car. So it's Dominic Ang, Tuku Ezanle, Freddie Ang, Tuku Janle, Chok Fun Pang, and Jay Chung. Absolutely spectacular. So, alright. Pada malam ni kita ada Ilham Halabi.
Oh, hi.
Hai. So apa pendapat perlumbaan pada hari ini, Ilham?
Hari ni punya race memang mencabar lah sebenarnya. Penuh dengan masalah teknikal. Starting tadi mungkin spring pedal ni patah, clutch. So dia macam tersangkut dekat dalam tu. Dia punya clutch tu ada rasa notches tau, macam ada stepping, macam tangga lah kan. So dia tak smooth lah sebab ada spring tersangkut dalam. Untuk pihak ni pula Ipen, dia ada masalah VR terpadam.
Alamak. So mungkin berkurang nasib baik lah Oulton Park pada kali ni ya.
Nampak gayanya macam tu lah, memang kurang nasib baik. Tapi kita akan cuba juga untuk the next round.
Ya, itu semangat yang kita mahukan.
Tahniah siapa yang dekat depan tu lah.
So Ibrahim dengan Miko berada di hadapan Ilham kalau tak silap dalam tempat yang ketiga ya. So okey lah.
Alright, terima kasih. Tolak balik dalam grup.
Itu dia tuan-tuan perempuan. Seperti tadi kita bersama dengan Ilham Halabi, salah seorang pelumba kita yang bersaing di dalam kategori Pro Class.
So yeah, he did, Ilham Halabi there, he did sort of let us know as to what happened at the start of the race. It appears, or it felt like to him, that the clutch spring in his sim racing pedals broke. So on most racing rigs, you have 2 or 3 pedals. He had a 3-pedal setup with a clutch to try and get those nice starts. But unfortunately, the spring broke, and that was what caused him to have the bad start. And with Saiful Arifin, the VR failed. So perhaps triple screens are better after all. We have Miko Nasi with us this evening, along with Muhammad Ibrahim. Congratulations, guys. First and second place yet again for Full Focus Racing. How do you guys feel?
Hi, Miko. Hi, Muhammad Ibrahim.
Hi. So how do you guys feel for having another 1-2 in the bag?
I don't know. We'll wait for the results tomorrow or the day after, or whenever the post-race show is.
Yeah, but it looked to be a nice bit of racing from you two. You definitely had a plan to come in first and second, stuck with it, and definitely drove quite a nice, what appeared to me to be quite a nice race out there.
Yeah, we had a really good start. There was a driver that tried going on the inside. I left him room, but he didn't have much overlap. Unfortunately, that caused a bit of a scuffle behind us.
Right. But yeah, apart from that, seemingly quite a nice race. And it must be, as we have Muhammad Ibrahim on here, just turn to you for a second there. It must be a huge relief to get this race win done and dusted there, eh?
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, it's been a good win considering what happened last race and things like that. And so I was surprised that I had good pace because barely did any practice again. So that was
Awesome.
quite good.
Awesome stuff. How did you find the track? I was hearing that the track, a lot of the drivers consider this to be the hardest track because of how narrow it is and how short and how twisty it is in some places. How did you find it out there?
I mean, to be honest, it's a nice track, but I would have preferred to use the full track because the full track is a lot more better. You know, like this layout is a bit too short, so it's not as fun of a track. So whereas the full layout's quite fun actually.
Yeah, so perhaps for the next season we will actually move to the full layout in Oulton Park. I actually messed around with the MX-5s at Oulton earlier today, and it was quite fun. So, well, we live and we learn, I suppose. So I guess you guys, I mean, from what I can understand, just doing the back of the envelope calculations, Miko, you are in the lead of the championship by quite a fair way, and the team as well are in the lead for the championship. What are your plans in trying to keep those championship leads moving forward?
I guess drive well.
Yeah, basically just drive well, yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, congratulations, guys. This has been a huge boost to your chances of the championship. It's going to be very hard for anyone to catch up at this point. So, congratulations to you guys as well, and good luck to the next race.
Thanks.
Yola. Okey, itu dia peluman sebentar tadi. Anda setelah menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge round yang keempat. Sebentar tadi kita menyaksikan kategori Pro Class. Menarik kan? Sangat-sangat memujakan.
Absolutely. So, Miko, as you did say there, apart from a little kerfuffle at the first corner, I think the contretemps that started that whole safety car thing, they had a perfect race from start to finish, and with this result, the Full Focus Racing guys have a commanding lead in the championship, and Miko can look forward to having a good lead in the Drivers' Championship as well. They didn't quite extend the lead in terms of the Drivers' standing as much as they would have hoped, but for the teams, they're definitely in the driving seat. So Ibrahim in first, Miko Nasi in second, Ilham Labi in third, Shami Aizan doing well in fourth, along with all the URT drivers from 5th down to 10th. So memang interesting juga lah pada kali ni.
Menarik bhai. Pro Class kali ni aku puas hati tengok. Memang aku sangat berpuas hati.
Ya, dia ada insiden, dia ada drama sikit, dia ada semualah sekali. Tactical racing, good driving, sportsmanship pun ada sikit. Racecraft pun yang agak bagus. So itulah, harap-harap kita boleh continue the trend and carry on. So that is it from us. A special thanks to Ilham Labi, Miko Nasi, and to Muhammad Ibrahim, our top three, for having a chat with us this evening. A special congratulations to those guys as well. But of course, we have to thank our sponsors as well: XOX Mobile, 1XOX, XOX eSIM, and Estremo Oil of Italy. We thank our media partners, Galeri Kereta as well. Terima kasih kepada Encik Bob kerana sudi menemani saya pada malam ni, walaupun ada sikit hiccup, tapi tak apalah.
Sorry. Thank you.
Tak apalah, tapi nanti kita akan turun balik stronger. So, we will see you guys at the next round at Phillip Island and classic Australian circuit. But for now, that's it from Encik Bob, from our director Carol Alang, and from myself. We will hand you over to Zeda, who's going to announce those winners of those prizes. So do stay tuned to the stream. We're going to have a nice giveaway right after this. But for now, that will be it from us. Over to you, Zeda.
Okay, bye-bye.
Kembali kita sekali lagi bersama dengan saya Zaid Manaf.
Saya Muhammad ZR.
Okey, tu dia. Oh, Muhammad ZR.
Saya Muhammad ZR.
Ini Muhammad ZR.
Bukan YZR.
Bukan. Oh, ingat betul lah itu motor. Okey. So, macam mana? Korang dah tengok pusingan keempat penuh dengan aksi kan? Alright. So, kita dah tengok pun pemenang untuk kategori amateur iaitu Kamal Ali, dan juga pemenang untuk kategori profesional iaitu Ibrahim.
Ya, betul. Bukan Ibrahim Movie Itu
Bukan.
player bola.
Ini player untuk iRacing.
Ya.
Right, jadi tahniah kepada kedua-dua pemenang.
Ya, betul.
Okay.
Dan kalau yang tak menang tu jangan putus asa.
Betul.
Pada racer-racer kita jangan putus asa. Sebab kita masih berbaki 2 round lagi.
Dua round lagi. Iaitu round ke-5 dan juga round ke-6.
Ya, betul.
Alright, so pemenang untuk racer ni kita dah tahu.
Betul.
So kenapa sekarang ni kita nak cari pemenang apa lagi?
Kita nak cari pemenang giveaway lah. Apa lagi?
Pemenang
Kita-
giveaway session.
Ya, yang ni yang korang nanti kan sebenarnya kan. So sambil-sambil layan live iRacing and then korang pula dapat giveaway daripada One XOX. So
Betul.
best kan?
Best tu.
Tengok je dapat.
Duduk rumah goyang-goyang dengan phone layan.
Dapat hadiah.
Siapa sangka anda bertuah malam ni,
Ya,
right?
betul.
Sebab kita nak bagi hadiah kepada 10 orang pemenang.
10 guys, 10 untuk
orang
malam ni.
Yang anda yang menonton pada malam ini lah.
Ya.
Alright. So kita nak recap semula iaitu soalan-soalan
Ya,
yang
betul.
telah pun kita nyatakan dekat ruangan chat tadi tu. Alright. Di mana soalan pertama, berapakah tempoh perlumbaan untuk kategori pro, iaitu jawapan dia 25 minit.
Betul.
Alright. So soalan kedua, siapakah pemenang? Betul lah?
Siapakah pemenang? Betul.
Siapakah pemenang, iaitu untuk kategori amatur, pemenang dia ialah Kamal Ali.
Kamal Ali, bukan Kamal Adli guys.
Bukan Kamal Ali pelakon, ini Kamal Ali pelumba.
Kamal Ali.
Alright. Soalan ketiga apa, Em?
Okey, namakan 2 orang pengulas yang mengecara perlumbaan malam ini.
Okay. So
Macam biasa Encik Bob dan juga
Maths.
Yeah. Alright.
Soalan keempat.
Berapa unit One XOX Black B59 plus 3 bulan bil percuma ditawarkan kepada penonton malam ni? Senang kan?
Kau tak dapat jawab tak tahulah. Poster tadi dah upload dah.
Kita dah bagi tahu dah.
Jawapan dia adalah 3 orang.
Yeah.
Dan soalan terakhir.
Namakan lita perlumbaan dan negara bagi round 4.
Okey, kita bagi chance kepada orang banyak. Apa nama track ni?
Oulton Park.
Sikit lagi.
Oh my god.
Oulton Park, Fosters, United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Alright, so itu dia. Kalau anda semua dah berjaya untuk menjawab kelima-lima soalan seperti apa jawapan yang telah saya berikan, tahniah. Anda telah dapat menjawab dengan betul. Tapi ingat, kita nak pilih pemenang ni berdasarkan lucky draw.
Tapi nama diorang jangan risau. Yang dah jawab soalan yang betul and then dah buat share, lepas tu follow 4 page kita. So nama korang dah ada dekat depan mata saya. Dalam kotak ni
Dalam
guys.
kotak ajaib tu.
Dalam kotak ajaib ni. Bila-bila masa je kita nak cabut.
Betul.
Bila-bila, anytime.
Mungkin esok.
Mungkin lama.
Minggu depan.
Lama marah dia rated.
Kita akan cabut malam ni juga.
Okay, alright.
Okay. So dah ready ke Ami?
So korang dah ready ke belum? Kalau dah ready, minta korang tekan button love dengan like tu. Sebanyak-banyak yang boleh guys. Minta tolong love button tu.
Betul, walaupun kita orang tak dapat baca.
Kita orang tak baca.
Boleh
Kita bagi je, suruh je.
So kita tunggu queue director, dah boleh ke belum kita nak bagi announce pemenang ni?
Ya. Okay, on.
Alright. Kita cakap on. So
okay.
dah ready? Kalau dah ready,
Dah
kita
ready.
akan buat cabutan bertuah. Okay? Alright.
Yeah.
So malam ni harap-harap ada orang tepuk tangan.
Betul, malam-malam ni.
Minggu lepas tengok sendu je kan?
Tapi tangan tak apa, jari dia padu cok. Jari dia padu cok.
Wow, dia
Bahan director bangun.
Director on air je. What is sound next week macam mana ni? Alright.
Alright. So kita akan start buat cabutan nama. Okay, yang ni untuk 5 pemenang yang kita nak bagi SIM card One XOX berserta 10 GB data guys.
Alright.
Alright.
Siapakah?
So, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go guys. Okay, kita gaul guys. Okay, kita gaul. Bunyi. Alright. Okay. Okay. So
Alright.
dah ada dah. Okay. Nama dia Muhammad Ashfizam guys.
Muhammad Ashfizam.
Ya.
Anda telah berjaya membawa pulang sekeping SIM card One XOX berserta dengan 10 GB di dalamnya.
Betul. Alright. So yang ni ada lagi
Yang
4
pertama.
pemenang lagi.
Ada lagi 4 orang.
Alright. So kita cabut
hadiah
dulu
sama.
guys. Ada sama. So kita cabut. Alright. Tak ada tepuk tadi. Tak ada tepuk tadi. Okay, so nama dah ada guys. Nama dah ada. Darren One XOX.
Darren
Yeah,
One XOX.
Darren One.
Harapkan jari-jari
Dia
tak
tepuk
berbunyi.
pakai jari.
Dia tepuk pakai
Tepuk pakai jari je guys.
bunyi dia mantap.
Bunyi dia macam ni.
Alright, pemenang kedua.
Okey, pemenang kedua. Alright.
Pemenang ketiga pula yang akan mempunyai
Okey.
hadiah sama.
Alright, dah ada. So, LAN Bokbon PSS GM. Yang ni ahli silat ni.
Bukan PBSM. Itu peserta mula sabit merah. LAN Bokbon PSS GM. Tahniah.
Alright, so dah berapa orang kan ni? 3 orang. Lagi dua guys. Alright, so lagi 2 kita cabut guys. Alright.
Penat lah ini function.
Alright. Okay, so dah ada Muhammad Amirul.
Amirul.
Okay,
Tahniah Amirul. Itu keempat Satu lagi orang.
Seorang lagi. Seorang lagi guys.
Hadiah SIM card berserta dengan 10 GB.
Ya. Alright. So, Hamizah Rahim guys.
Hamizah Rahim yang mau pulang sekaping SIM card bersama dengan
10 GB data. Alright.
So itu dia 5 orang pemenang yang telah pun dipilih oleh Yamaha ZR tadi.
Bukan Muhammad ZR.
Muhammad ZR. Dia telah memilih 5 orang pemenang. Sekarang kita akan tengok 3 pemenang yang seterusnya yang akan mau berpulang. Yang akan berpulang.
Bukan. Jap, director dia ada nak bagi screen tak nama pemenang? Director? Ada ke? Oh, okey, tunggu. Tu yang tu gagap.
Tu dia gagap. Kita akan tengok balik nama senarai nama pemenang yang berjaya mau pulang.
5 pemenang 5 pemenang yang bawa pulang SIM card One Set berserta 10 GB data One XOX.
Kalau nak tunggu beli sendiri tu mungkin lah sekarang ni tengah kesempitan orang sikit. Tiba-tiba tanpa diundang datang rezeki bergolek di kaki. Dapat 10 gig tu. Dapat data pun dah jimat dah sebenarnya. Alright. So itu dia senarai yang menang seperti yang anda boleh lihat dekat skrin. Okey, tahniah kepada Muhammad Ashfizam dari One XOX, LAN Bokbon PSSP GM, Muhammad Amirul dan juga Hamizah Rahim. Tepukkan lagi sikit. Tepukkan guna jari. Alright. So, kita next untuk hadiah 3 orang pemenang. 3 orang pemenang yang membawa balik plan B59 plus 3 bulan bil percuma guys yang akan ditanggung oleh One XOX. Terima kasih kepada penaja.
Alright, kita teruskan. Lupa nak buat macam kuda tu. Alright, so dah ada. Kevin Chua. Bukan Daud Chua
Daud Chua itu staff One XOX. Okey,
Kevin Chua
berjaya membawa pulang hadiah One XOX B59 yang ditanggung 3 bulan bil.
3 bulan.
Alright, so itu dia yang pertama. Kita ada lagi 2 pemenang yang kita nak cari. Alright, so
alright. So apa ni nama dia? Jasri Jonos. Tahniah. Okay, last winner. Untuk
hadiah yang sama.
Hadiah yang
panjang
sama.
Okay. Nak recap balik.
So, alright.
Aku dah tepi.
Okay. Pete Jordan. Alright.
Itu dia. Pemenang yang ketiga yang akan membawa pulang B59DB berserta bil yang ditanggung selama 3 bulan.
3 bulan percuma So korang boleh guna unlimited call dia ke seluruh rangkaian, and then korang boleh layan fast internet dia.
Betul.
Layan Netflix ke. Layan tak pun layan untuk next week kita punya race pun.
Betul lah.
Data
good
free.
Good idea. Betul.
Right. Data free.
Okay.
So kita sementara kita tunggu nama 3 orang nama pemenang ni di screen. So kita borak dulu lah kan. Borak. So guys, yang tak menang jangan putus asa. Jangan putus asa. Bukan ada 2 round tu ada lagi sebab kita ada 2 lagi hadiah utama ni. Bukan ambil belum habis.
Bukan lagi 2 round, 2 hadiah utama lagi.
2 hadiah utama guys. And then lepas tu kita ada next round pun ada hadiah utama juga.
Betul.
Tapi last final round kita ada hadiah lain sikit.
Lagi gempak.
Lagi gempak guys.
Lagi gempak.
Sekarang dah gempak. Nama dah keluar tapi dia padam balik.
Dia main. Mana dia?
Mana dia 3 orang pemenang tadi ni? Alright. So kita tunggu sebentar.
Okey, itu dia. Kelvin Chua, Jasri Junus dan juga hilang balik.
Okey, lagi sekali. Syulik, lagi sekali. Satu kali lagi. Dia dah.
Kelvin Chua, Jasri Junus dan juga Pete Jordan Tania adalah pemenang yang dipilih malam ini.
Yeah, you winner. Tanya.
Sekali lagi, of course. Alright. So sekarang ni confirm korang dah tunggu dah tak sabar nak dengar siapakah nama pemenang untuk hadiah utama. Apa hadiah utama dia, M?
Kita ada headset gaming.
Headset Steel Series Active 5 untuk dimenangi
dan juga Oppo A93 guys.
Oppo A93. Okey.
So tapi kali ni kita cabut untuk headset gaming dulu lah.
Okey,
alright. So diorang tak sabar.
Anda dah bersedia? Saya dah bersedia.
Saya dah bersedia.
Nak buat bunyi dugu-dugu-dugu?
Dugu-dugu. Lama sikit. Dugu-dugu. Jangan lama sangat. Dugu-dugu. Alright, dah ada dah. Oh, kacau lagi. Director suruh kacau lagi.
Kacau lagi.
Kacau lagi. Okey dah. Okey, dah ada dah. Alright.
Nervousnya.
Macam mana nak sebut nama dia? Skala Sky Fly lah. Nama dia Skala. Sebut
Skala.
Sky Fly lah.
Okay, jangan risau. Mungkin yang mempunyai diri tahulah nama dia tu.
Ya, dah tahu.
Skala Sky
Fly lah.
Alright, so Tania, anda berjaya membawa pulang headset Steel Series Active 5.
Ya.
Saya harapkan anda enjoy guna benda ni sebab apa? Memang dia punya experience will give you a new experience yang sangat-sangat best.
Memang best.
Quality music dia, quality bunyi dia sangat bagus. Right? So,
jangan jual dah menang jangan jual. Korang kena pakai guys.
Aku jumpa kat Shopee. Alright, itu dia nama telah keluar kat skrin. Skyfly lah.
Ya, Tania. Okay, tapi jangan risau, ada lagi satu.
Satu lagi.
Oppo A93.
Boleh tak kalau kau petik keluar nama aku?
Oi, tapi saya nak bersin ni. Nak bersin. Jangan bersin.
Okay, kita nak cabut cabutan ni. Lepas tu habis show bersin lah kau.
Okay, so kita nak teruskan cabut untuk hadiah utama bagi Oppo A93 dan korang akan bawa balik sekali handphone berserta dengan SIM card B59 plus 6 bulan bil percuma guys.
Yang ditanggung oleh XOX.
Ya, alright. So, kita teruskan. Let's go guys. Okay,
Laju sikit.
Ngentuk. Jangan goyang kepala guys. Alright, okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, nama dah ada. Habil Syaban. Habil Syaban. Okay guys, nampak tak?
Habil Syaban. Tania.
Tepuk sikit. Tepukkan guna jari.
Terima kasih jari. Bisa jari director.
Ya. Alright, itu dia hadiah-hadiah 10 hadiah yang kita dah cabut. So guys, ada nama lagi kat dalam ni sebenarnya. Tapi yang tak menang jangan putus asa guys.
Cuba lagi sebab
betul.
apa? Kita ada lagi 2 round ni.
Kita ada 2 round.
Lagi 20 orang pemenang.
Ya.
Okay. So yang penting anda jangan give up dan teruskan support iRacing ini. Alright.
Ya, betul.
So itu dia nama yang telah keluar di skrin iaitu Habil Syaban.
Ya, tahniah lagi sekali. So, tapi yang pemenang-pemenang ni nak diingatkan nama korang dah ada, kita dah sebut tadi. Minta korang PM kita punya page di XOX guys
Alright.
Bagikan detail
Detail yang diperlukan adalah nama anda dan juga nombor telefon untuk dihubungi.
Betul.
Alright, pastikan anda dropkan message kepada XOX, admin XOX akan menjawab. Alright.
So, okay, ni pasal untuk kita punya tengah berperang dengan COVID ni.
Betul.
So guys, minta lah korang dekat di luar sana, di satu Malaysia lah, di seluruh dunia lah.
Ini adalah satu keadaan yang kritikal lah.
Kritikal sebenarnya
Ah.
guys.
So walaupun kita enjoy kat sini, kita kena ingat mungkin ada orang yang tak bernasib baik dekat luar sana.
Betul.
Right? Kematian dah juga makin meningkat. Begitu juga dengan kes. Dulu 1 lebih tu tak rasa lah. Macam kita ingat dah 1 lebih banyak. Sekarang dah 4,000 relax tadi.
4,000.
Okay? So pastikan anda semua duduk di rumah. Okay? Kalau betul-betul perlu baru keluar rumah.
Betul.
Okay? Dan kalau keluar rumah pun pastikan anda kekal untuk mematuhi SOP yang telah pun dikeluarkan oleh pihak kerajaan.
Betul.
Right.
Stay safe lah guys.
Stay
Minta
safe.
korang semua stay safe and bila nak keluar masa perlu je lah kan.
Betul.
Betul. Sayangi keluarga anda
Betul.
Alright.
Kalau tak risau diri sendiri, risaukan orang lain.
Betul. Right.
Takut kita yang pembawa nanti.
Betul. Kita
Alright.
jaga kita guys.
Kita jaga kita.
So minta dipermudahkan, dipercepatkan virus ni hilang.
InsyaAllah.
Okay.
Kalau semua jalankan tanggungjawab masing-masing, insyaAllah kita akan berjaya mengatasi masalah ini dan kita akan sekali lagi dapat kembali menjalani kehidupan normal seperti sebelum ni.
Ya, penat. Asyik
Betul.
keluar pakai mask, bawa mask.
Okay. Aku dah lupa dah pun macam mana lepak mamak sebenarnya.
Tak tahu dah cara dia.
Tak silap saya dulu lepak mamak tu suka nanti ais lah. Tak silap lah.
Tak tahu.
Tak ingat lah.
Ingat lah kan.
Alright, so kepada anda semua jangan lupa untuk saksikan XOX Esports Challenge 2020 round ke-5 yang
Next
akan berjalan pada hari Ahad minggu hadapan.
Ya.
Okay, dan track yang akan berlangsung perlumbaan ini adalah di Phillip Island, Australia.
Bukan Philip yang lampu tu
Bukan Phillip. Alright, so anda boleh tengok details dekat screen
betul.
yang telah tertera pun. Right, so pastikan set your date, okay, dan jangan lupa kita ada lagi 10 hadiah lagi ya.
10 hadiah. Lepas
10
tu
hadiah giveaway.
saya nak bagi tahu minta korang yang kat sekarang yang tengah tengok live ni turn on notification
Betul.
Bila kita orang live ya, korang akan auto dapat notification tu yang kita tengah live untuk
Alright,
itu.
betul. Okay, so untuk round ke-5 pastikan kalau korang terlepas dah 4 round terlepas ni, jangan lupa untuk korang pastikan diri korang boleh menang untuk round ke-5 pula.
Betul.
So macam mana cara nak menang M?
Cara dia sangat mudah. Macam biasa, macam kita dah bagi tahu, korang kena follow page 4 page kita di XOX Malaysia, di One XOX, di Adrenaline Impact dan juga TKKR Racing Team guys. Seksa.
Okay, like 4 page tersebut. Syarat yang kedua, pastikan korang share live streaming yang akan berlangsung pada hari Ahad nanti. Okay. Dan syarat yang ketiga M.
Syarat yang ketiga, kita akan bagi 5 soalan mudah untuk korang jawab. So bila korang dah jawab soalan yang mudah tu, 5 soalan dengan betul, so nama korang kita akan shortlist dan masuk dekat kotak ajak di depan saya ni guys.
Okay, untuk cabutan bertuah, kita akan pilih untuk cabutan bertuah.
Ya, betul.
Alright.
Tu je.
Itu
Ah.
saja.
Simple kan?
Simple kan? Senang je
So,
kita cakap.
So minta korang yang tak menang tu jangan terjun katil.
Jangan nangis tepi-tepi. Jaga diri.
Jaga diri. Alright. So kita apa-apa pun kita dah habis lah. Kita dah di penghujung rancangan.
Okay,
so
dan
guys,
juga saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada 2 orang sahabat kita daripada Adrenaline Impact, iaitu saudara Matthew Palmer dan juga Encik Bob yang telah menjadi pengacara untuk perlumbaan yang berlangsung tadi.
Dan saya juga nak terima kasih kepada sponsor-sponsor kita daripada XOX Malaysia, One XOX, TKKR Racing Team, and then Mia Extremo guys. So ni nak bagi tahu.
Dan juga salah seorang lagi yang kita lupa nak sebut, Encik Alang, Khairul Alang yang juga berusaha setiap minggu untuk memberikan yang terbaik kepada penonton-penonton di rumah.
Tepukkan sikit. So lagi satu, ada lagi sponsor kita.
Ada lagi.
Ayam cincang 7 warisan.
Ayam cincang. Alright. Makanan warisan, 7 warisan yang telah dimakan oleh hang tua, hang liquid. Okay. Dan pastikan anda kalau berminat, anda boleh check out dorang punya Instagram dan juga Facebook. Okay.
Betul. Nampak di skrin kan?
Nampak di skrin kan.
So,
saya tengok pun saya dah dapat balik.
Dah dapat balik?
Itu terus menilai balik.
Okay, so yang Mia Extremo yang tadi saya bagi tahu tu, Mia Extremo ni sebenarnya minyak hitam untuk pancuan 4 roda dan juga 2 roda. So guys, kalau korang nak jaga enjin, korang boleh pakai minyak Extremo ni guys.
Betul.
So macam mana nak dapatkan dia? So kau boleh turun ke page Isrimo Malaysia ataupun kau boleh beli online di
online
website. Di website kita di www.tkkr.my.
Right, pastikan anda pilih minyak yang terbaik kerana ianya adalah untuk kenderaan kesayangan anda. Okay?
Macam kowe lah.
Macam tu juga.
Macam tu.
Alright. Macam tu lah.
Macam tu lah.
Okay. So kalau tak ada apa-apa lagi saya rasa itu saja untuk malam ni.
Alright. Okay. So kita akan berjumpa, ada rezeki nanti kita akan jumpa next week hari Ahad pukul 8 malam guys. So see you guys. Selamat malam. Assalamualaikum.